Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Done Creative Live. So we've got the light belt situation going on yet again. My apologies, that just seems to happen kind of this time of year. So I'm making progress. Let me just show you. I'm making progress over here. Um, Still need to fix my little Done Creative sign to go back on the wall, but I'm thinking about kind of rearranging that whole situation anyway before we move everything back and have the lights, camera, action on that side of the room yet again. I feel like I've been over here for a while. It's not my favorite, aesthetic and background, but I don't think that's why you guys are here anyway, but you know. All right, so at the last minute, meaning a couple, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes ago, I decided to, because it just didn't register to me to do the autumn equinox reading. I thought I had more time. And then I looked at my little calendar here and I'm like, wait, the equinox is tomorrow. I could do the live stream about the autumn equinox tonight. It's just all this retrograde energy is like totally messing with like time for me. Like it feels like time is both really going by fast and very slowly going by. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes. So tomorrow we're having the autumnal equinox or the spring equinox if you are down under or in the southern hemisphere. So I probably should just call it the equinox, right? But yeah, I think you guys know what that entails. But with all these retrogrades that are going on, I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting collective reading we're getting ourselves into tonight. After my live stream on Friday, I think it was, yeah, I think that was the last time I was live. Saturday and Sunday and part of Monday, my headache was back. It didn't get as extreme as like the days prior to when I missed Wednesday's live stream last week. But man, I just cannot go a day, it seems like, without getting a headache until today, finally. So hopefully I'm in the clear for a few days anyway of relief, but I am just feeling like I'm just running and being caught in like a riptide almost. Like, okay, I'm almost out of the riptide, and then I'm pulled back under as far as just being able to move forward with a bunch of plans I have and ideas and planning. That's, I guess, goes in line with plans, like I just said. And even actually taking action as far as, wow, that's bad. Yeah, we're gonna do this. But even just, there we go, that's better. But even just getting a video filmed on my other channel has just not been happening. And it's not that I haven't had time, it's just I can't get myself in the headspace like during the morning hours or kind of early afternoon hours before I go get the kids to like get in the zone. It's kind of funny though, because I think it has something to do with my plans for that channel, which I still have not divulged, and I'm still like just making sure that I'm in my right thought process and tuning in and making the right choice before telling anyone exactly what I'm doing over there. Yeah, it's funny. You're like, yeah, similar feeling here. Yeah, it's been a thing, hasn't it? Brandon's like, hello, Alexander, aka Alex. How are you? So yeah, some of you might be knowing kind of, or even intuitively thinking, okay, this is going to be the direction I'm going. But yeah, you haven't been able to bite the bullet or, go in that direction yet because either you're just making sure you're making the right choice because, retrogrades everywhere. It's like everywhere you look, retrograde, retrograde, retrograde. Or you're just kind of unsure. But this is exactly what's going on for me anyway. But I'm detonating the tower. The tower's not being detonated out from under me. I'm detonating the tower. So yeah, maybe you're detonating some of your own towers in a way. That's all I'm going to say about like my other channel. But yeah, so some of you just might be thinking, okay, there's some major changes we need to do. And yeah, let's get into our, speaking of retrograde, my computer got sick and I had to restart the whole thing. Definitely tower day yesterday. Yeah, it's just been a whole thing. And it's really weird because for me at first, especially like day after day, I have a migraine and then a headache and then a headache and then a migraine and all that. It's like, I'm just like, this is never going to end. And then there's that other part of me that's like, oh, shut up. It's going to end, but just like roll with it. It's okay that you're learning lessons through it. And I actually am already looking back like, wow, just making myself slow down and literally lay in bed in the dark and just thinking and meditating and sleeping and just taking care and dialing down everything I have to do on a day-to-day basis. I already have a lot of perspective, just in the 9 days that I had those headaches. Whoa, this one flew right off. Yay, our kind of happily ever after. Not that there really is such a thing here on Earth, totally in totality, but this is bringing us closer anyway. You don't even know where to start about the technology glitches. Thank you. Mercury retrograde. Yeah. And same. And then the Ace of Wands just fell. I'm just kind of shuffling lightly, and these cards are just flying off the shelves here. Oh, the reset re-image forced me to upgrade my Scrivener from 2017 version. So maybe there's a rainbow at the end, right? And maybe, I keep thinking that this kind of retrograde, feeling riptide, kind of stuck energy really is kind of acting as a reset button, but it's almost like a delayed start reset button. Like, we know this reset's in motion, it's been in motion, it's still in motion, might continue to still be in motion for a minute. But once I think these retrogrades, especially after Mercury goes direct on October 2nd, and I'm really picking up on October 10th as the day that things are really moving forward for most of us, collectively speaking, because Mercury's kind of, it's not just back in forward motion, but it's got some momentum behind it, and we're just starting to get back business as usual. But it's not business as usual. It's business as, okay, now let me implement my ideas, my goals, my plans. Hello, Sandy. I love you too. Hello, Ivana Intuitive. Hello, hello. But yeah, it's been a whole cluster F if I'm not, if I could speak candidly with you guys. Yeah, and I think everybody's got their own little cluster F going on in their own little way. Could be a little way, could be a big way, could be lots of things. Mine are, I'm looking back and even just looking forward, and I'm like, these are all good problems to have. Good problems to have what I'm dealing with. Not the headaches, migraines. There's never a good, ain't nobody got time for that, right? But as far as just being able to, I'm so impatient with certain things. I'm like, I just want to do it now. I just want to do this and that and this and that. But divine timing really is at play. There is this element of patience. And I think one of the gifts this equinox is bringing us is we're finally getting that forward momentum. And yeah, lots of that stuff coming back from the coming back to the surface, like Scarlett said there. A lot of stuff, retrograde is a lot of past energy, past issues, past traumas, past wounds, past cycles, all just coming up for us to see, hey, did you get the lesson? No? Okay, let's try this again. It's so daunting and exhausting, but yeah, we're here for it, right? I'm going to shut up now as far as my own little soapbox here, and we're going to get into the cards. Just what do we need to know about, I'm feeling a weight lifting, but it's almost like a pry bar is slowly prying that weight off of us. It's not just this instantaneous release. Although I think when we get past October 2nd, it'll almost, for some of us, feel like an instantaneous release, but it's almost been like a slow pressure, letting the pressure out, like a valve that has been, I think that's better than the whole pry bar example. Like a valve is slowly leaking to let out some of the pressure we've been under. And by October 2nd, and especially come October 10th, we're going to be really rolling forward and feeling a lot better than we have been. And I guess before I get into the card too, I don't know, Sunday, I couldn't do much except listen to things. I mean, I could open my eyes and search for something to listen to on YouTube, and then I kind of just rest my eyes again and lay back with my ice pack and, all that in the dark in my bedroom. But I got and this does not happen. I mean, this used to happen to me all the time. Way back before I became a parent. But then once I became a parent, I'm like, I can't do the true crime stuff as much anymore. I mean, I'll still peek in and dabble at certain cases and stuff, but I don't allow myself to go down rabbit holes until Sunday. I went down the Kylie Rodney rabbit hole. And does anyone know who she is? She disappeared from Truckee, California, on August 5th, I guess was the night. And then the next morning, August 6th. And they found her, I think 2 weeks later, submerged in the reservoir in her car, in Prosser Reservoir, I think it was. And wow, wow. I just intuitively have had so much going on and coming to me for that, and it's just not something I could put on YouTube. But like, wow. Anyone else have heard of that case at all? Um, wow. That's all I can say. But like, that's where my mind has been pretty much the last 3 to 4 days since Sunday. Wow. But again, because this whole thing, I mean, it started before like Mercury retrograde, but I think once Mercury goes direct, there might be some answers in what's going on there or some clarity on all this stuff. But wow, wow. Oh, you knew the queen was going to pass the day before. Yeah, that's so interesting. I've had vibes that something was energetically shifting with that as well. That's so crazy. Oh, the Lori Vallow mini docu series. Oh, I've heard the name Lori Vallow, and I'm sure it's tied to some sort of murder case, but I don't know much about it. Yeah, I need to. I'm like, oh, I needed to go down all these rabbit holes, but like, I get so emotionally invested in this stuff that it can affect my like mental health in not a good way. Um, but I've grown a lot in the way that I used to. Like in sixth grade, one of the first like real novels that I read that wasn't just a children's book or like a Sweet Valley High novel or a Goosebumps novel was Cruel Sacrifice by Aphrodite Jones or Aphrodite Jones. I never know how to say her name, which is a case of these three friends or four friends. I can't remember the number. Basically sacrificing their friend, killing her because they were jealous. They didn't like her. She was a little younger than them. And like that messed with my sixth grade mind. And my oldest son right now is in sixth grade. I'm just like, where were my parents? Like, what's going on here? Not that my mom was a good mom, but like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? But like, ever since that book, and they always have like the photos in the center of the book, and I get all these intuitive hits about it, and then I'm like, why is my mind making up all these scenarios? Because I didn't understand intuition back then at all, and wow, we could really, and this is kind of what we were doing on Patreon, was really diving deep into some rabbit hole type energy. But I gotta like make myself there's a hard stop that I got to give myself, or I will just keep on digging and going and going and digging, and before I know it, like my world is revolving around certain things. But yeah, let's get into equinox energies. I think at the 8-minute mark, I'm like, okay, well, I'll shut up now, but let's get into this. But let's really get into this. I think you guys know that about me by now, that I just go where the wind takes me on this. Wearing a bracelet on the left hand means energy concerning that bracelet receiving or releasing. As far as I've always known, your left hand, if you're right-handed, is your receiving hand, and then this is your giving hand if you're right-handed. But I've heard it's reversed if you're left-handed, then your right hand is your receiving, and yeah. All right, so, and Amber has donated. So I'm pretty sure, Amber, you're the only one here on our donation list. The other two are going to be time-stamped. So we will get into your question right after our collective reading. All right, so let's feel into it. Oh, hello, Jamie Wilson. I read your name earlier, but I don't think I shouted you out. But hi, and hi, Stardust. How are you? Us 80s kids grew up with a lot of murder of the week. Yeah, didn't we? And it was a family event in our house. Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries. Robert Stack's voice still creeps me out, like in a good way though. Like I didn't find him creepy, but just his voice and the music. Oh my gosh, just hearing that music, you're like, something's about to get serious. And the thing, I remember the episode. I'll get into the collective, I promise. Just one more little caveat. The episode that really stuck with me and scared me as a kid was The Face on Mars. I'm like, oh my god, that's so real. There's something out there. I know it. Oh, if only little me knew what she knows now, or thinks she knows anyway. Okay, so let's get into our autumn equinox collective reading. This really is how we feel like we're starting it, which is the Five of Wands. Very conflicted. If this is just in our minds, that's bad enough, right? But conflicted with our priorities, conflicted with our our thought process. We might swing wildly from, okay, I've made my decision, I'm gonna do this one thing. No, 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 I'm actually gonna stay where I'm at and then try to make this work. But then no, no, I'm gonna do this other thing instead. We're swinging wildly, almost like a pendulum. It's almost like that Edgar Allan Poe. If anyone knows much about Edgar Allan Poe, I remember reading it again randomly in sixth grade. We had a whole Edgar Allan Poe unit. And how fitting I'm using the Witch Tarot here, Everyday Witch Tarot. About the it keeps getting the like pendulum swinging lower and lower and lower, and the whole story is just getting lower. Does anyone remember that story? That's what I'm seeing is like, but eventually this pendulum is going to cut the rope to free us from our binds of indecision and confusion and conflict within our own selves. But then of course those of you going through conflict with other people, or things just not quite going your way, you're going to see a release. Like again with the pressure, everything's bubbling over right now. It's like it's almost like the cats are even fighting. Like no one's seeing there's an emergency here. They're fighting, the cats are fighting. And pretty soon we're getting the clarity to actually clear our head, the conflict from our minds or from our physical realities, to be able to actually see what the issues are so we can address them, and quickly. You got to address fire quickly, or you don't address, or it addresses you. This is about us addressing things quickly once we know what the real issue is. So autumn equinox is really going to help us clear out that energy of feeling mentally conflicted, physically, spiritually, emotionally conflicted, with ourselves and with other people, with priorities, with goals, with things we want to release or keep in our lives. I mean, it's going to be a mixed bag for all of us. And I don't know what lighting's doing in this room tonight. Maybe that's a little better. And then we have the Three of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So I'm really hearing this is like a harsh, blunt truth from spirit, from our higher selves, kicking in to help us clear the clutter, clear the confusion, clear the conflict and the chaos that's been surrounding us through a lot of this retrograde season. And it's like pointing, like he doesn't even need to see. I'm really reading this as like higher self or spirit guide energy coming in to help us. It's very Archangel Michael vibe as well, if I'm being honest. But he doesn't even need to look at this book of like, I don't know, this could be like our agenda, our planner, our the book of life that we're currently writing, current chapter we're on or something, but he's pointing right to it. He doesn't even need to look. He already knows, because it's kind of that, spirit has a higher perspective, so they can see what we can't, and they're pointing directly to it to really help us zero in on the issue at hand so we can address it and get to the bottom of it. But I don't think a lot of us are doing this alone. We have people we can rely on, people we can lean on, people that have been where we're at that we can use as kind of a mentor type of person, even if it's just, tuning into like a pick a card or some YouTube channel talking about something you're going through, and you get a piece of information that they have been through that really lights it up for you. And it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Or, spirit speaking to you in symbols and messages in code, angel numbers. There's a lot of information coming in. It's just, I think for many of us with the retrograde, we've been on like information overload or rabbit hole overload, or I know I have so many things to do, but instead of doing any of them, I now have a migraine. So I'm going to lay in bed and have a headache and just continue to allow more time. I mean, that's what I had to do. I couldn't push through that. I couldn't. And I think some of you may have or will soon, as this autumn equinox kicks off tomorrow and moving forward, you might be forced in some way where the universe is forcing your hand to make a move or to step back or to take care of yourself. I think this is really about our mental health. You reading a transcript of my life right now? Oh God, I did a meditation with my healer today and he came and helped me. Thank you, Archangel Michael. That's awesome. Yeah, it feels like a transcript for many of our lives. It really does. So much to do, but I have been sick since Sunday. Oh, big hugs, Amber. Being sick is no joke. It's just, we can only do our best in every moment, but that best is not going to be at 100% capacity all the time. And if we can, just accept that and roll with, okay, my best today, I can only lay in bed with an ice pack on my head, and that's going to have to be okay, because it just has to be. And then maybe my best the next week is I'm getting so much done that I still have time left over, and I'm like, how did I do all that? But that's spirit coming in to assist, to help, to shed light where maybe light was just nowhere to be found. And we also have here with the Two of Swords. So again, I'm really seeing this as more confusion. So I don't think the confusion's quite over. I really do see this confusion card clearing come October 10th. So it's almost like we're in kind of a corridor, a portal, a window, a season of life from tomorrow, I should say, from the autumn equinox till about October 10th, where things are still like maybe we're getting more clarity on what we need to do, and our thought process is clearing, but we're not quite ready to move forward yet because of divine timing, waiting for other people. There's moving parts. And we're not the only ones involved. We're not the only energies involved, just our own. Spirits doing things, our loved ones and people out in the world are doing things that are affecting our own goals or wishes or whatever it is we're trying to do. But it's very interesting how she's literally shooting almost in the dark. She's blindfolded and she hit the target. Just like we were saying, Archangel Michael doesn't even need to look where he's trying to point us out to. It's just automatic. So it's almost like we don't need our physical eyes to see to get the clarity we're looking for. This is more of a third eye or an internal clarity that's coming to us to clear any confusion for the external reality or the external world, things we have going on. Which is exciting. It's very exciting, at least to me. I'm here for that. What else do we need to know? Ooh. And the Six of Wands, there's our victory. Yeah. So it's clearing these confusions, these weird obstacles, these chaos in our life. Like this is clearing. And it's not just clearing for us, but we're going to almost feel like a collective sigh of relief with our loved ones, people we know online, all the different communities, our work environment. Like it's almost like everybody's finally getting a break as far as the pressure cooker has been turned down a little bit so we can actually function a lot better. We're not just in like a survival mode. I don't know why I'm putting these back. I kind of wanted to keep them out, but I'm already putting them back. But I want to get a couple oracle cards. I think I can remember our oracle cards. But look, there's something. Okay. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow proper on autumnal equinox day tomorrow, but coming up as a result of us shifting into a new season is we are cutting the cord on something from the past that we are not, once that thing is dead, we can't bring it back. We can't bring it back to life or bring it forward. But if this is like, a career change or a relationship change for some of us out there, it could be that we're keeping the relationship or the job, but we're cutting cords on the toxic dynamic or the toxic coworker or the toxic, whatever the toxicity is, that's what we're cutting the cord on. But for others of you, this could be like completely leaving something in the past or someone in the past and closing a chapter for good. I'm actually going to turn my fan on real quick. It's getting warm in here. Okay. So that death card energy actually is kind of a welcomed energy at this point because the things that we're cutting cords on are the things that we already know this isn't good for me anymore, or I don't want this situation, person, job, energy, whatever it is in my life anymore. So I'm, kind of like we started on the back of the deck was that detonating of our own tower. All right, so let's get one of the chakra wisdom messages, or a couple. Yeah, I'm loving this collective message too. I feel this sense of empowerment through all of this, knowing what we've got going on. It's like a breath of fresh air, a sigh of relief. And then we have passion. So this is helping us wake back up to our passion, where maybe before, being in survival mode, we don't have time to sit around and ponder the deeper aspects of life and the beauty of that painting, or let me go for a beautiful jog in nature. Like, ain't nobody got time for that when we're literally struggling, right? So this is bringing quiet time to really dive back into our passions, or that time that maybe we felt like time was passing us by and our goals are going, unannounced and undone because we don't have time to do them, or, we're sick, or, something's holding me back. It's usually inside of us, but a lot of times it'll also show up as external things. But we're seeing that space for our creativity, our passion, our happiness to come back online for us in ways that it hasn't been for a while. But I think many of us are going through, some of us have already been through this. Some of us are there now and going to continue to be there. Again, this is all closing out October 10th. I see that for sure. And then we're going to have a time of being out there, or, being energetically on, in our passion. But, before this passion really comes flooding in, There is this time of isolation. This is not loneliness, though. I'm not really reading this as loneliness. And it's funny because I just heard all dressed up and nowhere to go, but it's almost like instead of being all dressed up and nowhere to go, this person's like, I had somewhere to go to dress up and go, but like I chose not to because I want to be home taking care of myself or figuring out what my next steps are instead of just going out and doing something frivolous. And it's okay to do things that are frivolous, but we're just putting a priority on the things that are deeper and maybe even more, a little more internal, like our plans, our goals, our wishes, our dreams, our relationships, our connections. And we're really focusing on those things and what we can do to shift them in a better way, to bring those passions back online. And then, yes, look what that's leading to, discovery. Some of us are discovering new passions because of this kind of weird stasis that we've been in, this isolation, this kind of let's close out the past or cut the cords from the past so that we can have a new discovery, a new beginning. And it's very, very divinely inspired. And then we've got the full moon here. And I'm pretty sure the new moon, I think it's on the 25th. So tomorrow's the equinox. And then 3 days later is going to be the new moon in Libra, I believe, for Vedic or Western astrology, and it's in Virgo for Vedic astrology. I know it's in Virgo for Vedic for sure. It's in Uttara Falguni. I can never say that right. Nakshatra. And then the full moon is on the 9th, and this is where it comes into this beautiful full circle moment, no pun intended, full circle, full moon, where October 10th, things are really moving forward. We're closing something out between, tomorrow, autumn equinox, and the new moon. We're setting some new intentions on the new moon, but we're not seeing them come full circle until after the full moon on October 9th, the 10th for those of you across the pond or across the world from me. And that's the day that keeps coming into my head, like things are really shifting. And there might even be some sort of collective event that happens on October 10th that maybe on the surface looks like a devastation or, like let's use the Queen's passing as an example. Lots of people have their opinions on royalty, the Queen, the whatever, wherever you fall on the spectrum. Some people thought that was a very sad event. Others were celebrating the fact that someone died, wherever you are on the spectrum, no judgment here. But if something is perceivably like devastating or sad or rocks the world or, some sort of natural disaster or whatever, between now and the 10th, I really do see it maybe coming around the 10th. It's actually clearing whatever has passed away or, the devastation, once the rubble clears, it's like there's a new way forward. Almost reading this light body here as like new growth on roses after they've been pruned back or something like that. So it's like we're taking the time now during this retrograde and the autumn equinox and the new moon, the full moon, to kind of prune all the overgrown and cut the cords, of all the things that just aren't serving us, to allow for that new growth, that new beautiful growth that we actually want to experience to come forward for us. Okay, I think that's really beautiful, and I could end it there, but I just want to get us one more little word of wisdom and advice. All right. What do we need to know? Words of wisdom or advice from Spirit. And we have choose to empower yourself. That's that new growth we were just talking about right here. Cutting back all that old yucky to bring forward that beautiful new stuff. And the lesson with this, this is something you can journal about or action you can take. This is the day to practice the power of choice. Choose the quality of mood you want. That is, whether you'll adopt a positive or negative attitude. The choice is up to you. Your goal, to realize that you do have the ability to enhance your life each day. Yes, we have the power. We have more power than we realize or give ourselves credit for. We really do. And I know many of us have been feeling very powerless or kind of tossed to the waves of life. I know at least I have. Can't speak for all of you, but energetically with what we got in this collective reading, I think many of you are or have been feeling a little tossed to the waves. Like I was saying, that rip tide, rip current, where we're just feel like we almost have our way out and then it just sloshes us right back under again. And then we're back in the circle, back in the cycle. Whew. Amanda, can I Google Pay you? I don't know if I have Google Pay. I don't know that I do. I have PayPal. I have Super Chat or Super Thanks over on my other channel. So I think that's a form of Google Pay, right? Is that? I don't know. Oh, your PayPal was hacked. Oh no. Yeah, over on my main channel, I'm pretty sure that the super chats and stuff are you're maybe you're paying Google. I don't quite recall. But if you want to do it that way, I'd appreciate that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, and I would just be able to see. I think from my other account that you sent that through. Um, yeah, we could try that. Try donating that way. I'm not sure if you can do that. I'm pretty sure. But I don't have super chat set up here because it takes like 33% of the donation or more, I think. I can't remember the exact number, but it's a pretty high percentage as opposed to say PayPal. Yeah, it's crazy. And pretty much 90% of my donations to start with were just super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat. Yeah, 33% off the top. And then, of course, taxes and all that. So it's gracious that people donate, but then not a lot of the donation goes to where it was meant, you know? Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to take a drink of my water, update my list, and we're going to get into this. It almost feels like my straw is not connecting right or something. I always have issues with my water bottles. Or I drink it and it goes down the wrong pipe, something. You guys hear that? I'm getting more air in my mouth than water. I don't know. What a problem, huh? That's better. I think it's this little air hole thing. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so I am check here. Oh, Kirsten has donated for a full reading and then kind of a more one card read as well. So we're starting with Amber. Yeah, they take a decent bit, but not anywhere near what super chats do. Okay, so we're starting with Amber. So Amber can go ahead and post her question, and then we've got Kirsten with her full read and her other donation, unless she wanted to do like maybe a more lengthy read on one question. That's up to you because you've donated kind of twice in a row. So I wasn't sure what your intention was on that, but we could do whatever you want to do on that. Oh, your question's in PayPal. Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and add Kirsten's name. To this and 1 + 1 card. I think I'll remember that. I mean, it's the next reading, so I shouldn't confuse myself too much with what I've written there, hopefully. Okay, so we're going to head over to my email to get into the PayPal for Amber's question. And here it is. Okay. Cool. Okay. Missing my mom today, crying my heart out. Aw, big hugs. Also, I have been revisiting everything lately. Majorly my relationship with my mom, my partner, and myself. I don't know how to talk about this because he is so lost, closed, and tangled in his thought process. Some advice, spirit, please. Okay. Yeah. So let's tune in. We're going to tune in for. Oh, that sounds good, Kirsten. That's perfect. Okay. So we're going to tune in. First, just anything your mom, let's just get a message from your mom just with all these tears and, this big grief that you're going through with your mom. We'll get a couple cards on that and then we'll really dive into the energy of your partner just to see what's going on with that. Yeah, your mom, she's just letting you know she loves you. She's supporting you through all of this. And this is all leading, this big purge. It feels like it has something to do with the healing you've been doing. It's just another layer of grief that you're, unfolding or kind of peeling off of just being able to heal from the loss of your mother. Loss is in quotes. It's perceived. It's not a real loss. Of course, as humans, we want that tangible aspect. We want to talk to them. We want to hear them. We want to, hug them. We want to be in their energy in that way. But the only way they can show up is in a different energy. And it's almost like she's spinning around, the top, like the crown or the soul star chakra area, letting you know, like it's a golden light. So, when you really feel this grief, you can kind of almost clothe yourself or cloak yourself in this golden light. Oh, especially when you're sick, you miss her care and love. Yeah. And that's letting her know she's literally, got you from your head to your toe is really how I feel it. Um, yeah, it's very interesting because, we've got the golden swirls up here and we've got it kind of down by her feet as well with this kind of cauldron. So I don't know if you have been thinking about her cooking or you did make something that she used to make or some sort of recipe she had maybe for medicine or a drink or a soup. I'm feeling it if it is food, it's got liquid with it, like a soup of some sort. Um, that she made that just made you feel good or it makes you think of her, something like this. Maybe a tea or some sort of drink. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, soup and ginger honey. There you go. But these can be ways that you can physically connect to her that will really make you feel that closeness. I really do see that. So she's with you, and especially when you're sick, she wants you to feel her love. Absolutely. And as far as the rest of your question, I want to read it again because you worded it so well. Oh, also steaming the way she used to give me. Yeah, there we go. So you're on the right track with being able to take care of yourself the way she did. Of course, it's not quite the same, but like she's there. Just know she is there. Been revisiting everything lately with my relationship with my mom, my partner, and myself. I don't know how to talk about this because he's so lost, closed, and tangled in his thought process. Some advice. Okay, so let's tune into how you can relate to him or respond to him. If there is any hope for even just a cordial relationship of, friendly interaction between the two of you, or, he had to have cared for you at some point at all, I would hope. At the very least, he cared for you as a person and maybe still does. But let's just tune into your partner's energy to see anything you need to know about this. Yeah, it's almost, this is very different energy than what we got with Archangel Michael. Although I do see this is confirming that Archangel Michael is with you and can help you in your relationship with him, because Michael, when Archangel Michael comes forward for me, he's very blunt, to the point. He doesn't skate around the truth. He just lets me have it, and that's, I think, it's like you're embodying this more King of Swords energy. But I'm reading this as your husband's energy, kind of as, him saying, this is exactly what you're doing. And you're like, well, I want to, and he's like, no, we're doing this. Like, it's a very controlling kind of energy. And it's not to like exert dominance over anyone. It's just for him to feel in control of his own process, his own reality, his own whatever it is. And he might even come across as hurtful at times when you do talk about your mom and, grief or sadness or loss. It's almost like he's just like, well, I don't want to be as blunt. I don't know that he's as blunt as this, but energetically speaking, it's almost like a slap in the face to you. It's like, well, she died. Get over it. She's not here anymore. Get over it. Yeah, you just said get over this right after I said it. Wow. That's exactly. And I don't know, that's hard for anyone to deal with, let alone someone who's very empathic, very compassionate like you are. It's very hard for you to, it's like a slap in the face, like a, whoa, really? Like, she literally brought me to this planet and I love her and I have a soul connection. There's no way I can forget about this and just move on. There's just no way. Let's get some advice in your being able to deal with him, or even see if there's any compassion we can bleed out of him in your direction, to see if there's anything that he can give to you. Wow. It's very interesting because it's like he did give to you the best compassion he could have, which was your daughter. This is a child card. Happiness, in a healthy, loving, caring relationship, this would be the husband's energy as well. But it's like the only way he can give you that energy is through your daughter. It's like she is the light. She is, yes, she's half you, half him. And that is how you can get the compassion from him. I think it's going to be through her. He may even be harsh with her as far as, oh, that toy's broken, we'll just get over it, whatever. Maybe he's a little softer with her than he is with you, but I don't see by too much. But yeah, I really see it as her energy that is kind of the light. But let's see. as far as you, any advice for you to be able to not have this hurt so bad, and for you to feel that sense of support that you need, if you ever can, from him in any way. Yeah. Eight of Cups, emotionally, I think you've both already kind of gone your separate ways emotionally. Not to say you can't have compassion for each other and everything, but I think it's more on your end that you have compassion for him and can see maybe the reason for his actions, and what's going for him. Even when I'm sick, it's nothing for to him. Yeah. And I don't know that you'll ever get that from him, that you ever did or that you ever will. I just think it's almost like talking to a brick wall as far as getting, not that he's not capable of it. I think it's just more at this point, it's like, the sun can be a card of ego as well. Like, my ego's hurt, or my ego will take damage if I even, pat your shoulder, like it's going to be okay. Like, it's just even too much for him to be able to do that. But what I think is beautiful about this is very funny, because when I very first got into tarot back in the 90s, I always confuse these two cards like crazy. And I'm like, they're the same card. Like, why bother? But as I read tarot and learned the nuance, they are very different energies. They are both about walking away, or moving away from something that is no longer fulfilling to you. This usually has more to do with emotions, and this is more like, I'm just over this. Like, mentally, I don't want to think about that person. I don't want to talk to that person. I don't want to respond to that person anymore. I'm just on my way. But also, as the 21st century and all this is like the internet card, communication. This is a card of healing. This also can be a card of healing, but really this is the beginning of the healing journey. I mean, really, they're both at the beginning of the healing journey, if you ask me, but it's almost like this is you, like, fly like a leaf on the wind. And that's exactly what we have here. I saw the wind, I didn't see the leaves at first. Like a leaf on the wind, like allow spirit, allow the element of air to carry you through your healing. And I know you're taking your own healing into your own hands. And that is exactly what you should be doing, and have been doing, and should continue to do, and not rely on him for any iota of sympathy or compassion or camaraderie, or, hey, we're in this together, I got your back. It's just not gonna, it's not gonna work. I mean, you can be there for him in that way if you choose to. And I think it says a lot about you that even if he can't do that for you, that you still do that for him, because that's who you are. But I don't see you getting that from him. But this is about you really doubling down on your own healing and loving yourself, and feeling the love of spirit and your guides and your mom and your daughter, and those close friends and family members that you do vibe with. And that is where you lean in these times. I somehow knew this, but hearing from you, I cannot stop crying. He is disconnected from me emotionally completely. He is into his work and his office circle. I do not exist for him. Yeah, and that is such a hard reality to face, or like a big slap in the face again, like that. Just like, it's like so shocking. Like, how could this even be? But that, I got major chills now. So your mom's coming through. She does not want you to take that like anything that you've done wrong, or that you're broken, or that you don't deserve. Mm-mm. This is a defect on him that, for any man, I mean, I'm not here to judge, but this is like coming from your mom, coming also through my ego's kind of like, yeah, I'm with her on this. It's like any man that would put his work over the beautiful family that he has, there's something off. There's got to be something off, because yes, there's a time and a place that, the work pays the bills, that, pay for the house, that houses the family, that da 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 da. But it's like his priorities from day one in the marriage, in the contract of relationship, were already backwards, or he already almost saw you as his property, or he was in charge, like king of his castle kind of vibe. And no amount of you, loving him, being emotionally connected to him, or trying to, would ever be what you deserved. It's never going to be what you deserved, because you deserve someone who will stay up all night talking to you about your dreams and your sadness and your feelings, and then you being that person for someone else. And the fact that you've never gotten that from him, or really any, male in your life that you're close to, that's so, like, I want to give you a big hug. And your mom, of course, wants to give you a big hug. And you deserve even from the time you were a little girl, you have always deserved to have a strong masculine figure in your life that loved, protected, and honored you, but you never have had that. And I got major chills. And that's your mom coming through to show that you can create that for yourself. You don't need a masculine in your life to be that for you. And I know it's nice. It would be nice, right? It would be nice to have a masculine be that protector, be that love, be that place for you to land that has never existed for you. If anything, it's about fear, it's about control, it's about um, dishonor, is the word I'm hearing, dishonor, and really all backwards. But that's the thing in a patriarchal society that we, live in and has existed on this planet for millennia at this point. It's to really, put an end to it's like what we're here to do is put an end to that cycle. That's part of what you're here to do, is put an end to that patriarchal, controlling, unemotional system, and to bring love, bring the divine feminine back into it. And that's why, you and your daughter, you'll have this bond for your lifetime, and you will get to see, this is where your victory comes. This is where your sweet, sweet victory comes, Amber, is when you get be there when your daughter gets married, if she chooses to, and is with someone who loves her, who cherishes her, who listens to her. She's going to have everything that you always could have ever wanted for her. She gets to have it. So that is your victory, is getting to see her have what you deserve. And that doesn't mean, though, Amber, too, that doesn't mean that in your future you don't come across that with a partner. I'm just going to say it's not going to be this partner. If you have, decided to stay for time immemorial with this one person, that will never come to you from this person with your current partner. But, it's open to be able to come from a different partner at some point in the future. Yeah, exactly. That passion. And this came out also in our collective at the beginning. It's like you being able to find that passion for yourself, to love yourself, to cherish yourself, to listen to your own needs the way that you would deserve a partner to. It's almost like you have to be your own partner, really. And on the back, we have release. And yeah, it's got to be really difficult, like being pierced in the heart. Absolutely. It is a very Three of Swords, very heartbreaking energy. But the beautiful thing is you can release, kind of like we were talking in the collective, a lot of that does involve your energy for sure. So I'm sure that collective energy, even that reading, if you even watched it again closer to October 10th, you can already see how far you've come between today and October 10th, just the collective reading and also this reading. So your passion's coming back. You're able to release a lot of this toxicity. And yes, life has been very bittersweet. This relationship brought you a daughter, but it didn't bring you a lot of emotional fulfillment or, the thing you've always dreamed of to have in a love relationship. You just have never been able to have it. Yeah, I don't want to take away a father from my daughter. Mine never loved me. I would like to have her to have one. Yeah. And, sometimes it's almost like, it's very interesting because Spirit's now showing me like my own situation. Like my mom didn't have a dad growing up until she had a stepdad. Well, the stepdad abused her two older siblings and adored her. So she was kind of subconsciously turned against by siblings, through no fault of their own. They were in survival mode. But then she, in her teen years, had a different stepdad that was like a dad. He was our grandpa. Like we loved him dearly. But my mom wanted to have, a father for her kids, but it didn't work out that way either for her. And actually, this, teenage me, little me waiting for my dad to show up and, fulfill the promises he made, would have argued against this. But being 40 years old now and looking back, I'm actually super grateful my dad wasn't in my life more. It could have been very bad, very bad. But, using your intuition for what you think is best for your daughter, well, I can already tell you right now what's best for your daughter is you. Whatever that looks like with any other people, that I guess remains to be seen. But yeah, you're definitely what's best for her. And if you do want her to have her father in her life, you have the option to be able to raise your daughter with your husband. I mean, you still have that option as well. Happened to me with my brother. Turned on me because my father loves him to the moon and back. Yeah, aw, that's so sad. Yeah, but just know you are healing through this, and a big part of what you're here to do is to overcome a lot of this and not pass these cycles on to your daughter. Even if she, eventually this just becomes too much and you go your separate ways from your husband, and you take your daughter, and who's to say you don't have another husband in the future that eventually just is, the father figure in her life. We never know exactly what the future holds. And even if we can tune in and do all these readings, a lot of times we can only surmise and guess, because every decision you or your partner make from here on out could completely shift what we pick up on for like future. But I do see possibilities and potentials where you do have love, you do have that support, and of course your daughter does as well. Oh, you posted your question. Okay. Okay, so what I had next is Kirsten. If you're not here when it's your turn, your question is okay. So that I will actually add this if I can. I don't know if I can, but we've got Kirsten's one question and then her other shorter question. So she can post that. I don't remember if Kirsten. Oh, you're typing it now. Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can add Jamie's question to what to do about my old friends. Okay, and what's up with the house. Okay. So I'm gonna backspace on that. And no, you're totally fine. You putting babies to bed, like, I get it. Okay, so that's gonna be Jamie's question. Did I call you Jamie Lynn already or earlier? My apologies if I did. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna write Jamie, and then equals. That's my code that's her question. Okay, and I'm under the limit as far as, okay, so there's my the list. Okay, we got Jamie's question on there. Okay, so by the way, thank you so much, Amanda, for my last reading on date night. Super spot on. Yay! I hope you're doing well in your new relationship. That's so exciting. I was excited. I'm like, yes, queen. All right, Kirsten says, do I have what it takes to be a successful spiritual influencer / health coach? Should I add in tarot readings, and should I partner with It Works? Okay. I'm already hearing diversifying your income is a really good idea, but not trying to start all of that at once, if that makes sense. So maybe starting with the health coach thing, and then as you kind of gain some traction with that, then add in the tarot, then gain some traction like that. Because a lot of times, I'm going to be culprit number one when we try to change our lives or shift our lives, or if Brandy Lynn is here, Sarah Cannon is always like, we can't quantum leap into that future version of ourselves. We have to take steps to get there. And I forget that all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to change my whole life today, right now. My whole routine, everything's going to be different. My day-to-day, everything, totally different. And I flop every single time. So already, before any cards come out, I would say you can do everything, but not all at the same time. You can do anything, but not quite everything, and especially not all at the same time. So I would say to start with your most, okay, if finances are a really big worry, I would say to start with the one that has the most financial stability, and then put in the one that you're the most passionate about as number two. But if finances aren't a worry, I would start with the one you're most passionate about, and then do the one secondary that will bring in some money, because I think you're passionate really about all of these things. But it's just about finding, especially tarot, like out of the gate, unless you already have some sort of platform where you've been doing tarot, or some other person in the community is gonna hype you up or shout you out. It's going to be a very slow and steady build. For most, I would say 99% of us out there. It's going to be a slow build rather than just an overnight blow up, if that makes sense. So if you're looking to actually make money, I would say tarot may not be your best. It can be a definite like side hustle or secondary income. And it's kind of when it rains, it pours, or when there's a drought, it's like echo, echo, echo. There's nothing coming in. It's that way for me, even as a semi-established, I guess, tarot practitioner, whatever you want to call me. I don't even know what the terminology is. Tarot reader. um, I can go like weeks to sometimes months without any personal readings for people. And then there are other times where I'm booked 2 months in advance. And there's nothing I'm changing, at least that I know of. Maybe energetically, I don't know, but it's like there's nothing, and then all of a sudden it's over flooded. I usually rarely have a steady trickle. It's usually a whole bunch or nothing at all. So that would be, I guess, my most upfront advice about all of this. My issues having is that I'm not 100% on board with It Works products, so I'm not sure about partnering with them. But I know it can get me the leads I need. On a side note, I'm having trouble getting confidence in myself. Yeah, and It Works like one of those multi-level marketing companies? Because sometimes those can be really difficult to, if you're not like one of the first generation of distributors or sellers or whatever, and you're like under a bunch of people, it can be really difficult to make money. Like LuLaRoe, Scentsy, Pampered Chef, a lot of these, Mary Kay, it could be that you throw a few parties, you make some good money, but as far as like if you're in there like at the beginning stages or the ground up, and as far as I can recall, I think It Works has been around a while. And yeah, I would just say as far as being able to actually put kids through college and buy homes and stuff is probably not your best bet. Yeah, and a lot of times people especially don't want you to inbox them, hey, I got a great offer for you, like those cold, what do they call them, cold sales, cold calls, something like that. People aren't real keen on that anymore, or people have seen it and it's kind of like eye roll. Or even when you're like, if you create a Facebook surrounding your multi-level marketing product, it's like people already, it's like static. People just will scroll right by it. And it's not even that they're conscious of like, oh, this again. It's just subconsciously they're scrolling past. And I don't know if they've actually done any research about that, but people are getting really smart, like bypassing the different, what do you call them, like advertisements. So if you don't want to be a salesman, I would say that's probably not your best bet to start with that. Especially if you don't feel very confident in product itself. That could be even harder to sell. I mean, it's one thing to sell a product you're like over the moon about, you just can't shut up about, but to have to sell something you're not even sure about yourself could be really difficult for you, energetically speaking, because people can pick up on that. Yeah, those raffles to get leads. Yeah, there's a lot of methods, and I think there's merit in some of that. It's just so many people have been down that road, or they've supported people who've been in that, and they're just spending their money in other ways or in different places, or however people, because It Works stuff, is that like the healthy stuff? I can't quite remember. I think it's like drinks, or is that the powder? I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I've heard anyone mention that. But let's pull some cards. Let's just see what Spirit's saying. Very interesting. We've got 3 of Cups here. This is very spiritual energy. I would say the spiritual stuff, the health coach, the spiritual advisor, coach kind of vibe, spiritual influencer vibe is probably your best bet. But let's see. Let's get some clarification on the best path forward for Kirsten. Yeah, it's very interesting because I was like, well, let's see. Maybe this could, because I was looking at this, like maybe this could be the It Works stuff, because you're part of a group. That's what this looks like to me. You're celebrating with a group of other people who are selling the same thing. And then, because I kind of thought, oh, I think this might be even talking about that. And then I got the 7 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. So if you do go the it works direction where, you've already got a team and they're giving you like the ideas and how to sell and, the ideas and stuff, it could work at times, but it's going to be very hot and then very cold. You might get a party, um, and it's a really good party and you're like, "Oh my god, if I could just keep this up." But it's like, to keep that up, you would have to work like 24/7 and be online all the time, contacting people. It's very mentally and physically exhausting, I would think, just to keep doing that. Yeah, the lady you talked to made $4,000 a month. And I think that, that could be feasible, but I don't see that it's something that could be consistent unless you're getting these same clients that are wanting this stuff over and over and over again, which could be the case if you get some regular customers. Um, but the it works route, you're going to be constantly defending or having to be in, a defense mode. Like, let me prove to you why this product works. It's very salesman, but it's like, let me try to convince you why what I'm selling is good and why you need it. And a lot of those multi-level marketing and just really advertising in general is, it's kind of like the FOMO, fear of missing out, or make people feel like they're going to miss out on this deal, or scarcity mindset, and they play on a lot of people's psychology in kind of nasty ways. But I think that's a lot of advertising, not just multi-level marketing. That's like advertising in general is very predatory as far as making people feel like they're going to miss out on something, or sell them the fear, not the product itself. Their fear of missing the product, not the product itself. So I would say if you do go that route, you're going to be feeling defeated a lot, or it's going to be constantly stressful as far as you having to keep reaching out and being the one up and ready to answer questions, ready to answer emails, ready to, tell someone, "Hey, let me give you a sales pitch. This is what we're doing here." I already feel exhausted and I don't even work there. Like, that's the energy I'm getting, is that route might be very exhausting for you. Let's see, as far as the more spiritual coach stuff or the health coach stuff, if that's a better option. Yeah, that's like spirits pointing directly to it. Like, yes, there's your clarity. I'd say that would be the better route to go. Let's also ask about the tarot route, because I think we already did a reading about you being very talented in that, and you could do very well. It would just be a very slow and steady incline to get where you want to be. It's not like oh, I can make $4,000 this month. Sweet. It's, I got to work for that for a while before I can make income like that. And like, even now, and even on my best, I never made that kind of income on tarot ever. Not to say it can't be done, because there are people out there doing it every day. I'm just not one of them. But yeah, look, she's got tarot cards on the table, High Priestess energy. That would be a very viable fit for you, as well as a spiritual and health coach or spiritual influencer, health coachy type stuff that you're talking about or thinking about. As far as this tarot, would Kirsten maybe be one of these people that's like an overnight sensation? Well, I think at the very least you'd be very emotionally invested in it, to where just you being able to help people is kind of your payment to get you going, to get you started, and then you're starting to make money. So at the very least it's an opportunity, but it's not like a guaranteed surefire way to make quick cash. It's not a quick cash solution for you right now. And I don't know really that any of those things that you put forward as, what about this, or this, is going to be like a quick cash solution. Because they are all things that take time and learning and maybe even financial investment, or at least some sort of knowledge investment, and knowing what you're doing to be able, maybe I don't know if you have to get like health certified or anything like that. The tarot, I guess, is pretty straightforward. If you have a deck, you can start right now and just go live on Facebook or YouTube, or, do pick a cards or whatever it is you want to do. But again, that monetization isn't there until you hit 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. Not one or the other, but like both at the same time. Well, they don't have to be at the same time, but you have to hit both milestones to get monetized. If you're doing like a channel route or like a social media platform route. Let's just see any word of advice or wisdom for spirit on these options for Kirsten. We have assess your relationship, which is very interesting, because I think there are, and I'm really seeing this maybe as the relationship with your ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband, or if he's still your husband, because it's almost like there's a passing of your own authority or control of your life from one hand to another. Um, but this doesn't have to just be your relationship with this person. This could be with, the It Works lady you were talking to. This could be, whatever business relationships you could have or do have. But identify one dynamic or component of a close relationships that's vital to your emotional and physical health. This is especially important if you are healing and a particular relationship is causing you stress. If your relationship is a healthy union, then celebrate your goal to integrate your relationship into the quality of your life. And this is indicating a new relationship. In a love reading, this would be a new love coming in. So there might actually be, quite possibly, a new love coming in that will be a catalyst to really start things going. But if you're not like wanting that or ready for that right now, this is just assessing the current and past relationships for you. Um, that you're assessing and kind of seeing, can I let this go? Do I need to, strengthen it? What do I need to do? So board certification for health coaching is required to get a job, a real job in it. Okay, that makes sense. And then what I'd like to do is health coaching. The destroyed self-esteem. I just went to counseling, and that was the main topic, is that I have no self-esteem left. He left me, surprisingly enough. Oh wow. I do want one, but I think I got to straighten my life out first. Yeah, and that's what this is you falling in love with yourself first can really help direct you what would be your best. Because a lot of times if we don't know who we are, how are we going to know what our passion is, what really lights us up as far as being able to, monetize our passions? Because a lot of people, I'd say a lot of people in this world work a job they're not passionate or don't love or not in love with just because they know they need to pay bills. And maybe they've never even allowed themselves to think that, hey, I could have a job I love and that pays the bills. What? I think you've tuned into that I want a job I love. I want a job that will also pay the bills, but I don't know exactly what that is or how I can make those things align up. But you will figure it out. The key is to get back in love with yourself, or to at least start giving yourself more grace, to get your self-esteem back on track. Not to say you can't get a job while you're getting your life back together. You can. It just may not quite be in any of these avenues, especially the whole It Works thing. I think just if you were trying to work on yourself and do this It Works thing and trying to make that successful and it didn't work out, it's almost like you would blame yourself. Like, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good enough this. I'm not a, yeah, and it would really weigh on you even more. Certified in human resources to get back up career, and it will provide the money to get there you go. See, that could benefit you. And I think I before tuned into you being able to work with kids as well. That could benefit. And Eight of Pentacles, see, she's creating her reality, every drop, every potion. She's customizing this to her. But this is a card of skill and honing your skills and practicing, and there's an element of patience, because what comes right before this is the Seven of Pentacles. It's about, allowing the divine timing to come into play to allow the fruit to ripen so that you can then really start working, utilizing the fruit that you're taking from the vine that you're creating, to make it into something new. And then the Nine of Pentacles is all about your hard work finally paying off and bringing in that money. I was doing Mary Kay and it failed, so I have no faith in myself to do another business of any kind. And see, maybe it's just about you working for someone else for a while until you get your confidence back. And then you can branch out. Not to say you can't work for someone else and have, a tarot thing going at the same time. I just don't see tarot as like your main source of income, like tomorrow or next year even. Like, it's going to take some time. Not saying it can't at times bring you some really good income. It's just going to be not an overnight thing. I really do see. Passion wasn't in makeup. Yeah. So I guess it's about finding your passion and just being really carefree. But I see you will be able to find it, because with the world here, you're closing out those old cycles and starting over with something fresh and new. But you're also, wrapping up those old cycles, but, healing and also enjoying, and maybe even taking some sort of vacation to really, clear your head, or, do that soul searching. There's some soul searching. There's some healing that I think you're in the process of that'll really help you. The reason I haven't started tarot is because I'm worried I'm not as great as I used to be. Well, that's the thing is, go back to my very first tarot video on my other channel and compare it to my most recent one, or any that I've made in the years since my first one on YouTube. I I'm not saying the information coming through wasn't good. It's just I didn't have a great way of presenting it because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was nervous. I felt weird talking to a camera and no one else was in the room with me. That felt weird. And now it's like so natural to me that I could just do all my, before if someone's like, you got to do a live anything, a live tarot reading, a live whatever. You don't know what questions are beforehand, so you can't like practice or prepare. That would have terrified me. And here I am now. So it's all about practice. It's all about just doing it, putting yourself out there, having faith in yourself enough to get you going. And even if you have stumbling points where you're like, that was terrible. What if that person takes my advice and it's wrong? Like all the things that'll go through our heads, but you'll figure it out. You will. Oh yeah, there you go. TikTok's great for leads by using lives. There you go. Yeah, I would just play around with what feels right and do your healing, do your inner work, do your self-love, and that will help get you on a path that feels really good to you. That'll get you back to earning. It's weird I said earning, but just rediscovering. You don't need to earn crap. We'll just put that out there. But it's almost like you feel you need to earn your own confidence, your own self-respect, your own worth back. You don't. That's like a Freudian slip of the ego. Is like, you got to earn that. No, you are it. You are confidence. You are love. You are respect. You just got to remember. And maybe just you practicing is you quote unquote earning it back. If that makes sense. Oh, big hugs, Kirsten. Okay, let's get into your next question because I know we got Jamie also waiting for her question. I've done a lot of research into marketing, so I know I can market at least on social media. And that's good because that'll serve you no matter what you're selling or creating or doing. Whether you're an author writing books, you got to market, you got to sell. Whether you're a tarot reader, you got to market, you got to sell in ways. And I'm not the best at marketing and selling myself because I just want everyone to, like, again, with the whole advertising and predatory marketing, like, I want nothing to do with that. So I just don't do much advertising or marketing. Like, even when I had my photography business, I was all word of mouth. I didn't run one Facebook ad or anything. It was just, oh, wow, I saw these pictures. I saw your thing online and hey, or, friends of people saw the pictures and then reached out to me. Like, that's how I guess me showing up and doing the thing was the advertising of the thing. And maybe, I'm not saying that's a good way to do anything because it's probably not, but it felt good to me because I wasn't relying on scare tactics or this sale only lasts for so long. And I felt good about how people were finding me and stuff. You do want to write a book. Another tarot reader picked up on that too. There you go. Yeah, I'd say everyone's got a book in them, and I'm sure you do. I mean, you've got some pretty good life experience with what you just went through with your ex, and just you've got some life experience under your belt, so you could write a nonfiction book, a fiction book. Like, you've got something to say. All right, thanks for everything, Amanda. We'll come back to the reading for sure. Gotta put my daughter to bed. Lots of love. Big hugs to you, Amber. We'll see you next time. Thanks again for your donation, Amber and Kirsten, and we'll get into Kirsten's next question. And then right after Kirsten, we have Jamie, which your name is actually after the other two, but they are not here on time stamping, so Jamie will be next after Kirsten's one card read. And there's my list. Okay. I don't have Kirsten on there because we're in process for Kirsten. All right. Yeah, you got to slowly get into it by starting with tarot, pick a card. There you go. See that, and it might feel intimidating, but just get your feet wet in that arena and then just build upon it. There you go. What job should you do while in college? Okay, let's tune in. I see you being able to work for someone else while in college. Even if you decide to do the whole tarot pick a card thing, that almost feels like another avenue or side hustle. Again, we were kind of picking up on diversifying income or multiple streams of income. So this is about you being able to tune in to what you want to do, something that's more of a passion project, like possibly the tarot pick a card channel thing. And then also being able to work for something that you may not be as passionate about, but it's a guaranteed paychecks. It's guaranteed hours every week where you're bringing in income. It might even be something to do at your school or having to deal with other college people. Whoa. it's a chaotic energy though, so I think you really could do just about anything. Just about, yeah, Wheel of Fortune. Just get out there, and I'm sure if your area is anything like mine, there's jobs aplenty out there. Jobs aplenty. But as far as like whatever it is you decide to do, you don't have to decide and then that's your life for here and forever. You can change your mind at any point. But as far as you building any kind of career on your own, it's going to be that slow and steady process, you know. And again, just trying to focus on the good things you have going for you, the self-love, the celebration, the people in your life that you do love, instead of the things that have gone wrong or that you feel very insecure about. Focusing on the good is what's really going to help you find a job that, even if you're not passionate about it, you have fun. Like maybe you really love the coworkers, and maybe the hours are really flexible with your college schedule, and you're going to find ways to appreciate whatever job you do get. Let's just see if we can get any clues. I want to see if we can get any clues from Spirit about this job. After school program, supposedly desperate, and said they would call me, but I've heard nothing from them. Oh no. Very interesting, because I was thinking like kids and children. But it's very interesting. We have the dissipating card, but it's like a senior citizen. It's like maybe even working with senior citizens, or like hospice. I know that's kind of sad because the hospice people are like dying, or like they don't have long. But you would do really well with people who are close to their exit point, or people in more like an assisted living or a nursing home situation. And that would really help you. Like they're looking for like health aides and stuff, like people to help pass things out, and get people comfortable and stuff like that in these kind of facilities. And I know a lot of times these seniors, they do feel very alone. And I think you would be such a bright light in just showing up and being like a beacon of light for them. I don't know if that's anything you've ever thought about, but it's really clear to me in this image. But just the word itself, dissipating, is almost like you feel like you don't deserve whatever jobs you want. Almost like you have to settle for something stupid, or you just aren't passionate about. Technically worked in hospice. I took care of my grandma. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So you already have experience in that way. I guess it's just a matter of, do you want to go get back into that? Might be a grandma. Oh yeah, and your grandma coming through. I don't know if that you really associate the color yellow. There's a lot of yellow going on here. And this is the solar plexus chakra, which is about, feeling that sense of self-worth. Let's see if there's any other clues as far as whatever job Kirsten could do while going back to college. Wow, notice subtle changes. So it's like she's doing something with clothing, maybe even working in a clothing store, quite possibly like retail, or maybe even creating. We got the tie-dye going on here, creating some sort of job, or some sort of like I don't know, creation and selling it, quite possibly. But again, I'd see that more as like a side hustle, at least for now, because to create a business and have like be really consistent with business, that'd probably be really difficult to do while you're also going to college. Just because being a business owner, you're like around the clock working. If you're not like physically working and doing whatever it is for your job, you're thinking of new ways to advertise, or you're thinking of ways to save money, or what you need to purchase for your business, or whatever it is. But then we have the healthful foods. So maybe you're working in some sort of restaurant, or as some sort of like nutritionist. Maybe the health coach thing comes back into play here as well. So you're either working with food or people, or both, quite possibly, or clothing. Really, Spirit's like you could do anything. You could work retail, you could work food service, hospitality, you could do health and hospice, or child development, babysitting. Maybe you can put out an ad to be a babysitter or a nanny. I mean, really, what do you want to do? Pick an avenue and you can do it. That's really what you can do, is anything you want to do. And I think we've gotten that message for you before, is, well, what do you want to do? Because you can do it. Yeah. Wow. Needs something I won't quit after a month. Yeah. And I think that's, the beauty of being able to do what, call a college job, is you're not expected to be there for the rest of your life. You try it out and, oh yeah, this works great for my college schedule, but like now I'm bored of it. Now I'm going to get a different job. But that's very interesting. The clothing thing, what I did as my job in college, literally to pay my way through college and, to have gas money, food money, all the things I need. I didn't have a lot of bills in college because I lived with my husband and his parents, so we didn't have like rent or anything, which was such a lifesaver. But what I did was I went around to all the secondhand stores. This is before like clothing, like online ThreadUp and all that was like a thing. I swear I start a lot of trends. No, I'm just joking. I don't. But like I energetically tune into things that are going to be something in the future and really go all in on it. And then I burn out before it actually happens. Because I could be like, oh, I did this to start. But I would go to all the different secondhand stores and find like really nice brand name clothing that was like new. And then I'd go on eBay and, sell, I'd list all my items, take pictures, I'd get, inventory everything, and then I'd sell it. And that's how I didn't take out any student loans. I didn't have any other jobs except one summer. I did work a bunch of temp jobs. Doing housekeeping. I even worked in a welding place, assembling kiln trucks. I did all sorts of stuff. I even worked at a lumber mill. But I'm talking like through the bulk of my college, that's what I did. Was I bought clothing and resold it for a little higher price online. I don't know if that's financially viable now, just because so many other people do that. Back in the day, boy, it really helped a lot. I remember buying one pair of Lucky jeans. I still remember the exact price I sold them for. I bought them for $2, pretty much brand new. If they would have been my size, I would have kept them, but I didn't. Lucky brand was pretty big back in the day. But I sold them for $25.38 on eBay, and I felt like I won the lottery. I felt so good about my life. Yeah. But, you can find just about anything and make it something. You really can. So just maybe get a little creative. Maybe write a pros and cons list. Like, what do you enjoy doing? Because I think if you can find a job you enjoy, that'll help cut down on you feeling like you need to change it in a month or get out there in a month. That'll really help you put down roots, at least for, a little while, if it's something you enjoy. So it didn't answer your question, but it kind of left it just way broad for you to do what you want to do. Like working from home. Me too. That's my favorite. That's my very favorite. And when I could, even back in the mid 2000s, 2005 through 2008, when I did the bulk of my selling online, I worked from home. And that's probably at the peak of my not very homebody days was back then. That's when I did like to go out and do things with other people because I was in college. So I did a lot of that, but I wasn't a partier. I was never a partier. Yeah, you just want something with a good schedule. Yeah. And that's the nice thing about, being your own boss is you can write your own schedule. You can set your own schedule, but the money, that's the hard thing is your paycheck really isn't guaranteed every month like it is if you go work for someone else. Then it is guaranteed, but maybe it's a lot less than you want. It's about finding the balance and knowing what we need to do. Okay, Jamie is here. Yay. So let's get into Jamie's question. So she wants to know what to do. And thanks again, Kirsten. Big hugs. Thanks again. I hope you figure it out. I'm sure you will. You keep dazzling us with your beautiful energy. Thank you so much. Okay. You're so welcome. So Jamie wants to know what to do about her old friends and what's up with the house. Okay, so we got 3 cards that fell to the floor, and I'm seeing these as your old friends. Okay, so there was a deep connection at one point. This really reading is past energy. There was a deep connection at one point where you felt like, soul brothers, soul sisters, whatever. That energy was like strong bonds for life. We're going to be friends forever. Lots of celebrations, lots of get-togethers, gatherings. Maybe you even roommated or lived with some of these friends, or they felt like family to you. I mean, this is such a family vibe. And Page of Pentacles is indicating maybe there was something that took some of these friends in different directions, or maybe there was some sort of misunderstanding or something that happened that kind of put distance or made people decide to go their separate ways or something. On the back of the deck, staring right up at me, is the Lovers. So I do feel that with these friends you're referring to, there is a soulmate connection. There's past life connection. There's soul energy tied to these people as far as you love these people. On soul level, they are soulmates. You love them. And if you want to, get the band back together, so to speak, I say you have the ability to do that. But let's tune into the current and future energy of these friends and just see, what should Jamie do about her old friends and what's up with the house. Okay, so what's up with the friends? What should she do about these old friends? Well, I think you moved on for a reason. And maybe even going back and remembering what the reason was and really figuring out, I don't see that there might be regrets, like, man, if this one thing would have been different, maybe this would have been different. But I see, as far as the actions you took, I think, and or they took or didn't take or whatever happened, even if it was just as simple as a going of a separate ways, it all happened for a reason. There was a divine plan behind it. But you've moved on. Maybe you've even reached out to some of these people online. Is my internet card? Or you've been thinking about doing so, or maybe they're reaching out. Whatever the case may be. But there is an element of healing, or something that did happen in the past that maybe you're not over or they're not over, that needs to be healed or worked through or talked through, quite possibly. Or even if this was just kind of more of a going of a, and I'm really picking up, it's very interesting because I was picking up on two friends specifically, if not a third friend, and then you would make the fourth friend. If it's not that number, it's just maybe spiritually there's this many energies tied in. But if that makes sense, that makes sense. But it's very interesting. It's almost like this wee lad. This to me feels like, the past energy, younger versions of yourselves, right? And it's funny that this tower's in the background, but it's almost like it hasn't crumbled yet. This person hasn't seen it crumble yet, but it's going to crumble. Or it has, where you're at now, this tower has already crumbled. So this is past energy to you, but in younger years or younger versions of you and these friends, it hasn't happened yet. And it's almost like it felt like such a flip of a coin as to like how this direction shifted or changed, or, but there is distance or moving, at least from two, and then a third kind of trailing behind, and then that fourth energy just might be completely off. And again, that fourth energy could be energetically. And it's very interesting because it's a very confusing energy to me. Or maybe this fourth friend, if there was one, was not around all the time. Maybe it was like the core three, but then all of it on point. Yay. It's like this fourth one, maybe even that fourth one, why it's so confusing to me is it's almost like, how did we allow that fourth one to do what they did? Like she somehow was the key to making everyone disperse, maybe, or I don't know, something she did kind of set off a domino effect. I don't know. This is even confusing to me. So if this doesn't make sense to you, we're gonna try to get to the bottom of it. She moved away, but yes, the 4-3, yeah. Yeah, literally that one girl, that one chaotic energy, there it is. She set the catalyst, or she set something in motion. I don't think she purposely did anything to hurt anyone, even if it looked like on the surface, like, well, the words she said seemed pretty purposefully hurt, or the things she did seemed pretty purposely, whatever it was. She has a lot of regret surrounding this. So if she did do something, or any of them, if any of these core three did something, there's a lot of regret with it. A lot of regret, because they couldn't take it back. Once that tornado's out of the bag, you can't take that back. But let's just see as far as what you should do about it. What should Jamie do about her old friends? I think there's still some healing and some wounds that you're licking over these friends that maybe you can address either with them or on your own. But it's very interesting because there's some balance coming in, and it might just be you and another. You and one other that you might still be close to, and then, of the core three, quite possibly, and then that fourth one doesn't quite matter. I don't see that person's too relevant to what's going on here anyway. But the core three, I see you being able to, if one of those core three isn't in your life now, I see that you have the potential to have her back in your life. And spirit is facilitating or helping, and can only help so far as you allow. So if you ask spirit, hey, help me, they will definitely be able to do that. As for the third one, member of this core 3, I don't know. There might be some hurt feelings on her end. But she, I think, also hurt feelings. I don't know. There's some catty kind of energy with this. Yeah, she might even live farther away, or whoever lives far, far away, it's like you could probably reach out or hang out or whatever, but you'll never have that closeness you did with that third person or fourth person. There is one of the core 3, you being one of them. So of the other 2 in the core 3, I think you can rekindle and have a new way forward with, if that's what you choose to do. But I would think you would have to be the one to reach out and make that happen. I don't think she will be the one. Yeah, King of Cups. There's some emotional sadness or something that happened. And again, I don't see, even if on the surface it looks like, well, I'd say they were pretty rude. Hello. But I don't think it meant to be what it was. Whatever happened, I don't think they meant to have it be that way. Which one? Okay, I'm gonna draw a card and I'm gonna describe this girl to you, and that's gonna be the one that you can have a closer bond with again. Okay, so she might be a Cancer, or have a Cancer moon, or she was like the mom of the group. Even if this feels like your energy, there might have been another friend that was like the mom of the group, or slightly the more responsible one. She might have even been the oldest one. But she feels like, again, with the King of Cups, like emotionally, she might have been even the most emotional one, as far as, she cried a lot, or, even just something, she'd cry watching movies. I don't know. She's very, a witch. Is it, Kyra? Is that how we say that? Kara? Let's see. Yeah, and there is a witch there. Let's see if it is her. I mean, this obviously is the Everyday Witch Tarot, so there's witches all over these cards, but... And the number 18, of course, the moon is number 18. That might be relevant to whichever of these 2 girls. Yeah. Something about home. I don't know if you ever lived with one of them, or she'd stay the night a lot, or, she felt like a sister. I don't know. It's pointing right to the home. So she might even live closer in distance to you. Whichever one lives closer in distance to you. Oh, Kara, gotcha. Yeah, it could be her. I do feel that. Yeah, there's an emotional energy here. Let's just see. It's funny because she's not not wearing 2 different socks, but I don't know if this Kara girl, it's funny because I'm like, oh, she's wearing 2 different socks, but she's not. And I saw that she wasn't, but like from this depiction of those little stockings there, I'm like, she's wearing 2 different socks. So I don't know if that was something with crazy socks, fun socks, wearing 2 different socks. Aw. I think you being pregnant really opened a can of worms emotionally, as far as the past goes for you, to want to, I don't know if rekindle's the right word, but just figure things out, or, wished things could have been different. I don't know. But I do see, maybe if you do reach out to her, you'll find out she's pregnant, or I don't know. It's so funny because it's almost like I want to say, when you were pregnant, da 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 da, but also she's like a mere reflection of this. I don't know if you guys were pregnant at the same time, or there's this want or desire for a baby. I don't know. But her heart, I'm seeing, miscarriages. Yeah, I'm really seeing these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like quite possibly 5 or more miscarriages. Yeah, this makes sense. But it's almost like I'm reading this as you being able to hug her. And that 5th one, because look, the 5th one's staying with her. Wow. Oh, no, that's a 6th one. Wow. Well, maybe she's having 2 children that will, be Earthside, and the other 4 were miscarriage representations there. Your hair colors, oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm almost reading that like you hugging her and getting to see her pregnant and, celebrate with her. And wow, I have chills too. I can feel a soul, 2 souls, 2 kids. And she looks like uber pregnant. That could be twins, quite possibly. I don't know if she's doing any kind of fertility something or other. Oh, you had vision 9. Oh, of kids for her, I think you meant to say. Of kids. Yeah. I see that as a potential. She might just be really devastated and heartbroken with all the infertility thing it's no joke. I mean, I only had 3 miscarriages, and that over the span of about 4.5, 5. Well, let's see. First one was in 2009. The last one was in 2014. So what? 5 years? 3 miscarriages in 5 years, and luckily, after my last miscarriage, I got pregnant with Wrigley, and I always wanted 3 kids, but I'm like, I can't do this again because I had a miscarriage, then I had Boston, then I had 2 miscarriages, and then the month after my last miscarriage, I got pregnant with Wrigley, and I actually got in my hypnosis that Wrigley was the soul that tried to come in the miscarriage right before. So I still got him. I still got him. Aw, no, that's okay. Yeah, feel free to tell her that because that's the thing is the gratitude and just having that faith or that knowing that that could be a possibility. Because, a lot of times our own defeated attitude is like, oh, that test isn't going to be positive, or, oh, I'm pregnant, but it's just going to die anyway. Like, I mean, I was there by the time I had that second miscarriage. Well, I had Boston and I felt like, okay, wow, things are fixed. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And then, 3.5 years later, well, I guess it was less than that. So 3 years, well, okay, no, I'm a liar. It was a year, he was a year and, okay, so Boston was born, I can't do math. So Boston was born in March of 2011, and then September, I'm a liar. August, okay, I got the dates mixed up because that was my first, yeah. September 11th actually was a miscarriage for the second miscarriage after Boston was born. And I don't even remember where I was going with that. But yeah, after that miscarriage, though, I'm like, oh no, I'm only gonna have 1 kid. Like I really basically set myself up for major failure, like as far as my mindset. And once I shifted my mindset and had one of gratitude, it's like things finally clicked for me. Not to say she's not grateful, because I think she is, but it's a nasty road to have to be in this infertility cycle. And like talk about riptide, like from our collective reading. Oh, you've been friends since 6 years old. There you go. Yeah. I don't know if you want to share this reading with her, feel free. Otherwise, too, you can direct her to the collective reading at the beginning, because I'm feeling her energy within that as well, this kind of riptide energy. Yeah, but there's hope. There's hope coming up. Let's just get one more. I'm going to go to this tarot deck. Anything else Jamie needs to know about her relationship with Kara? Because I think we've really tuned in. This is the friend. Not to say, yeah, that's right. I'm still getting to that. But as far as wrapping up this part of the question, not to say though that you can't still, knock on the door or energetically reach out to the third of the core group. I think that's a possibility. If Kara's already in your life, because that energy we were talking about before that was, maybe one that went their separate way, that you're not really in, like, totally, like, I text you all the time and, we attend each other's whatever. Oh, you were just wondering that. There you go. So I think that was picking up on her, that third of the tripod's energy. And Kara's kind of been with you mostly this whole time. Maybe areas of time, pregnancy and stuff was hard for her to hang out. But yeah, that third girl. And I think the fourth girl, I don't know if she moved away, like energetically at least, she's very far, that fourth girl. And I don't think you even care too much to reach out to her. But yeah, there'd be some patience with getting back on board with the third girl of your little core 3. She's got something going on either with like family or work. She's very invested in, she's got a lot. I really feel like she's got a good support system. She's got good friends and stuff. Not to say that you guys aren't good friends for her, but and like the energy of her kind of having moved on is here, but not so much that she would never entertain having you in her life again. I don't see it that way, but she's got a lot going on that it's not ever going to be like, oh, three besties for life kind of vibe. Just because she's got so much going on. Whether that's family, work, combination of things. And not to say she's not open to it. I think she would be. It's just timing. Timing would be kind of key. Interesting. Okay, so what to do about the house? What's up with the house for Jamie? What's up with the house? Okay. Nine of discs, 9 of pentacles. So your hard work is going to pay off. So I would say don't worry about whatever it is you're trying to do with the house. You will accomplish what you're setting out to do. Again, I'm picking up this energy of there's a little bit of patience that needs to be had with getting what you want here. Your hard work will pay off eventually. Again, just timing is a thing right now. But let's just get one more to confirm anything Jamie needs to know about the house. Ooh, yeah, your victory. Like I already said, hard work paying off and victory. Literally building a nest egg, saving money or resources to be able to do something. Very interesting. Should you let Mickey's dad live in the apartment? Let's see. Let's see if that's a good idea. That might be a lot more work than it's worth. Yeah, this looks like a major overburden, or, you know, maybe boundaries are crossed or something. Or it's just not working out. Maybe this just lets you know that's not even a viable option. Not that there's anything wrong with Mickey's dad or the situation. It's just not what happens. Because this is the end of a cycle, like hard stop, end of a cycle. But your burden is, you know, beetles are very lucky. They are very, you know, very fortune driven. And there's a lot of fortune in this card as well. So there's, and in this card as well. So I don't think you're going to need to do that. I think you're going to be able to line things up financially that everything's, it's weird. It's like everything's just smooth sailing. Even if it hasn't felt like that up to the point of you being able to do what you need to do. It's like once things move forward, it's like boom, boom, boom. Not to say there's not hiccups and hitches here or there, but as far as having to shuffle from one place to another, having someone else have to move in to make time, to make do, to make whatever, you're not going to have to do much of that, is what this is basically saying. Let's just see if there's any advice on the house or what to do on the house, or what's up with the house. Yeah, rely on yourself. You're making this stuff happen. And it's a very 6 of Swords energy, so you are moving. You're going to be able to do it. Yeah, it's small where you're at. You're moving to something more, I mean, she's literally holding the crescent moon, something more fulfilling. You're moving on to something way more fulfilling. And you may even have a better view of the stars at night. It's very random, but I'm seeing that as maybe it's slightly out of town that you actually can see the night sky better. Very, very weird random messages coming through tonight, but I'll take it. I love that. That's my favorite. Yes! All right, well, I hope that answered. I would say really there's, not to say not to prepare for things, because obviously we always should do that, but as far as needless worry, borrowing worry from the future, don't need to do that. There's enough to worry about usually from moment to moment to have to think about long-term, whatever. Not to say, again, not to plan for things, because you're doing that, and I see your plans being pretty successful. Thank you so much. It's very enlightening. Yay, we want out of town. Yeah, I think you're going to be able to do it. Again, I think there's this patience element and divine timing at play here, but isn't there always? So, yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, taking action when you need to and waiting when you need to and just allowing things to unfold when you need to. It's that balancing act of all of that, which is not always fun to hear, but just knowing that what you want to accomplish, you will accomplish, is sometimes makes it a little more worth the wait. Aw, Ari says hi. Hi! Cool. Alrighty, well, he's almost 4 months old. That's so cool. I can't believe how old he is already. Like, that time has flown. Feels like you're like, yeah, I can do any day now. And now it's like, whoa. That's amazing. Aw. Big hugs. And best of luck with all this friend stuff and the home stuff. That would be awesome. Yeah, it sure has. Man, time just flies, I'll tell you. Big hugs to you too, Jamie. Okay. So we have Michelle Lynn donating as well. So we're going to get into Michelle's question, and then we have two holdovers from, not holdovers, they're just timestamps because they are not here. So I figure I would allow those who are here to just go ahead and go first since the others aren't here. So Michelle Lynn is next. I'll take a drink of my water. And I want to make sure she's actually present and counted for, so that otherwise I will timestamp this because she did leave me the question. So there she is. She's here. Okay. So we will dive into this. Okay, so I'm going to go to my question over here, or my email for her question, I should say. And we're going to get into this. I'm just curious about this fall equinox and if it has anything in store for my personal, professional, or love life. Will I be closing out any cycles in October? Well, our collective reading we did at the beginning was very telling to let us know that, yes, we are getting out of this riptide energy of feeling stuck and almost like no matter what we do to try to move forward, nothing's moving. We're moving out of that. And the date that I was really honing in on was October 10th. And it's funny because I think around your birthday, you're like mid-month, right? And then you're like, no, I'm October 3rd. I think you said 3rd, somewhere in there. Early, I remember you clarified earlier October. And I kept tuning into the 10th. Like it's a big turning point collectively. And I talked about that in the collective reading, which I finally got to at like the 13-minute mark of this live stream. If you missed it, you can feel free because your energy's already in there. But let's just see. Ooh, October. I'm going to reread your question, but energetically, Spirit's already got some real good stuff for you here, and I'm excited. Yeah, curious about the fall equinox and has anything in store for personal, professional, love life. We'll be closing out any cycles in October. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Let me itch my eye. Ooh, very interesting. I needed to itch my eye. And it was my left eye. And it's funny, anytime I say left eye, I think Lisa Left Eye Lopez, but because specifically it's you, Michelle, and your eye situation, I was scratching an itch, and now I feel better. It's almost like you're getting some alleviation with the eye. Ooh. Yeah, something's shifting, something's changing. Wow. I love all of this. There's nothing here that I'm concerned about at all. But this is what came out before I even got the question out. Victory with the Six of Wands and the High Priestess. This is victory over your your intuition or feeling that clarity or the sense of direction and knowing what's right for you. Where maybe before you felt lost or like, is my intuition even there? Like, I don't know what's going on. But you're feeling it. You're feeling a level up. Specifically, too, with the third eye, talking about eyes here. Oh, you're the second reader to mention their eyes before my reading. Well, there we go. And, it's just something I'm like, oh, my eye itches, so I'm just going to itch my eye. And then I'm like, wait, Michelle, reading eyes. Because there's really, any distraction from outside, any, tangent, any distraction, any weird random thing that comes into my head, it's all relevant to the reading. And all of it. Even if, say, someone, I've had readings where someone will text message me. One time my dad texted me in the middle of a reading. We were talking about someone's dad. My dad texted me, and I hadn't heard from my dad in over a year. And it was, so out of the blue during this dad reading I was doing. And I was like, you might have been there. I mean, it was not, maybe about a year ago, last summer of 2021, if I remember correctly. But I was shook. I was like, whoa. Everything's relevant. It really does. But you're getting a clearing on this. Yeah, you were there. I figured you were. But yeah, you're getting some clarity surrounding your intuition. You definitely are in this, as a result of this equinox, this new season, and carrying you into October, we have the Lovers, the Hermit, which, you're like, oh, no more Hermit energy. But then we have the Eight of Wands and the Empress. I'm loving this combination. I mean, this can indicate a very quick love affair right here. This combination, quick love affair that it's 2 weeks is all it takes, and your life is completely changed, completely different. Not saying that specifically is going to happen, but there's something, the Lovers doesn't have to be just a romantic connection. This is usually a major life-changing decision that you are in control of making, that you are happy about, or at least prepared to do, and pairing it up with the Empress, who's, I would say arguably even more creative than the Magician, because she doesn't need the tools on the table. She just needs her physical human body to create life. That's all she needs. Well, she also needs a man, but energetically speaking, once the man does what the man does, she can grow that life to fruition, if conditions are correct. So it's almost like you are making a choice that you are seeing through to, at the very least, the middle stages here. But this is something this choice is something that it's like the energy frees up and you make a choice out of the blue, but it's a choice that maybe you have been thinking about or contemplating for a very long time, but the timing just hasn't been right, hasn't been right. You know you want to do this, but just hasn't been right. And then boom, October comes and it's like a big, she looks a little worried, but like at the same time, this feels like, okay, yeah, this is all happening so fast and like, oh my gosh, but like, okay, let's do this. Like, she's a little unsure, but at the heart of the Eight of Wands, it is, yes, quick moving energy, but also determination, forward momentum, passion behind what someone's doing. It's not random. It might feel like, wow, this came out of the blue, but like, then we have the Hermit. So again, this is tuning into your own inner guidance, especially with the Hermit and the High Priestess. This is you tuning into your own inner guidance to get those answers, to find that victory, to make the choices, to go in a direction, dating or career, we'll tune into that, to make the choices, the decisions that are going to serve you best for something you can grow long term, and it's all going to happen very quickly. So there's going to be a shift in your life if you choose to follow through with action steps in a direction where you are intuitively guided, because this is stemming, intuition and really thinking through that choice, that decision, having victory with something that you've been really struggling to bring forth or to birth into reality for yourself. You're getting a victory there. Let's see if this is in love specifically or career or both. We like when it's both. I'd say if the Lovers comes out again, it's both. But if it's the Lovers, it could also be love, but we'll just say that for sure. But we'll see what cards come out. Well, the Ace of Pentacles, that is career. So that's confirmed. There's at least some movement in your career, or you're hearing about something and then you're applying, and then before you know it, very interesting. I had used the time frame of 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, your whole life changes. And normally, don't we put in like a 2-week notice when we leave a job? I didn't catch that until just now, and I just randomly threw out a time number or a time frame, and it was 2 weeks. Yeah, very interesting. 2 weeks notice. You might be putting your 2 weeks notice in October because you have found something and you have a new job. And right now you're like, wait, what? Where's this job coming from? Like I said, it feels out of the blue, but yet at the same time, this is something you've been ready for, preparing for, wishing, hoping, and praying for a very long time, and it's finally happening. And now I made your chills on my crown. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears listening, and your eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. Yeah, there's something that Spirit wants to, if your hands are closed, Spirit can't drop that beautiful opportunity in. So make sure your hands are open and you're grateful and you're ready and you're prepared. Something Spirit wants to bring. Your higher self wants to bring you something that you've been waiting for, wanting for. Career. Let's see for sure if we can maybe bring some love into the equation. With the Hermit energy, though, I'd say this is probably more career and your own like kind of life direction more than love. But let's not count love out completely because the Lovers also showed up. And now the World here. So I would say this is more career and personal development this month. Again, not to say or discount that if love does come your way, that it's not for you this month. It would be. It's basically whatever you're prepared to handle is coming for you this month. Be ready for it in such a good way. But it might be so much at once that you're kind of unprepared. So just be prepared. But you are closing out old cycles. So at the very least in love, I would say this month, you're closing out old cycles to where you're getting yourself prepared or ready to put yourself out there for love again. The new moon is happening in your first house. Yes, that's right. So you're excited to change how I show up in the world. Yes, that's beautiful. And that's exactly what this is indicating is a new beginning for how you show up in the world. Literally. Yes, because Pentacles is the physical aspect, your physical body. First house is your physical body, and of course also too like your personality. But how you show up, how you physically show up in this world. And I would say use this new moon on Friday or Saturday to your fullest advantage. I think it's the 25th, whatever day of the week that is. I can't math tonight. I don't know. But let's just see anything else Michelle needs to know about these changes, these decisions, these quick moving energies. Yeah, again, it feels a little chaotic, a little out of balance, but you will be able to handle whatever you choose to be able to handle this month. And now my right eye is itchy. Very interesting. I don't think I itched my eyes the whole reading until yours. I mean, the whole live stream until yours. What else? What else does she need to know, please, Spirit? What the F? What is happening right now? The eye, like poked in the eye. Like my eye's itchy. I keep just talking about my eye, and then there it is. What the heck? Okay, what are you? Because normally the Five of Swords is like, people walking away, fights, disagreements, there are no winners, or, someone's manipulating a situation. Why does my eye feel like it's burning right now? I don't know. But it's like this person almost feels like, again, the chaotic energies, I don't feel like anyone's coming for you or anything, but like it's almost like your eyes are peeled. Like I said, your eyes are peeled, and that means like your eyes are wide open. You're looking for these opportunities coming your way. And it's almost like everything comes at you at once, and you're just like, whoa, how do I process this? Like, which job, what opportunity? Oh my gosh, what's happening right now? So I'm not reading this as sinister as your regular Five of Swords, but it's almost, again, going back to the eye. The eyes, they're very important. Being able to see these opportunities come in, and being able to process. What do I do with these opportunities? Okay, what does she do with these opportunities? What does she do with these opportunities? Yeah. Do what feels the most emotionally amazing to you. That's really what I see. Yeah, there might be a job offer. It's very interesting because I want to say on a water day, but what does that mean? What does that even mean? What are the watery type of planets? I don't even know. Like what rules the water houses? So we got Cancer, Moon, Monday. So the day Monday, that's a day that is ruled by water. Let's see, what else? Cancer, Scorpio, that's ruled by Mars. So Tuesday is another good one. Not two, like the number 2, but like the second day of the week, unless you count Sunday as the first day. You know what I'm saying. And then the other one, Pisces, Jupiter energies, Thursday. So Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are the days you really want to be on alert because something's happening, an opportunity. Maybe you're overhearing a conversation and you need to know that information. I would say those days. Scorpio season. Yeah, let's just get a quick card on beyond this kind of autumn equinox energy, kind of going more into Scorpio season. Just what's going on with that? Yeah, it's almost like, there's a lot going on. And even when we are making or trying to make these good changes in our lives, it's like I was saying in that collective and kind of me leading up to the collective is like, I try to make all these, or maybe was it after? I don't remember. Like I try to change my whole life all at once, and that's just, it's not feasible. So maybe some of these opportunities might look as good as others on paper or, right in front of you, but you have to use that intuition that's really fine tuning for you with that High Priestess and that, what other card do we have? The Victory card, the Six of Wands. You're utilizing that energy of really tuning into your intuition to know which are your best opportunities. And maybe you're having a bit of sadness because you have to leave behind maybe certain coworkers, or maybe 2 opportunities were very equally amazing, and now you pick one of them, and then you're kind of like, well, what if I wanted the other one? And you're kind of maybe having some second thoughts. But whatever you decide, you made the right choice. So you don't have to do the woulda, shoulda, coulda stuff. You're making the right decision for you that is the best for you in the moment and moving forward. But Scorpio season, you're going to feel a lot more in control of your own destiny or your own direction in life. Yeah, you're definitely feeling more systematically involved in the progress in your life is what I'm also hearing. Very interesting. Yeah. And it's funny because I was like, the progress of your life, my phone dings. It's almost like you're getting some sort of notification or email. I don't know if you're on any kind of email I don't even know what they're called, like blast list. Is that something I just made up? I don't even know. Um, I don't know. I'm not on LinkedIn or anything, but like, is there maybe some sort of online something where if certain jobs in the field you're interested in maybe get emailed to your inbox? I don't, is there a thing like that? I don't even know. I haven't been in the job force since like 2010, 11. It's been a while. It's been a long time. 2010. It's been a long time. I've worked for myself since 2011. So I've been out of the job force since 2010. I got pregnant. Well, I left this really toxic work environment. And then, like, the month after that, I got pregnant. And then I was like, I'll be a stay at home mom. But then my son's 4 months old. And I'm like, I'm a photographer now. Because people were like, oh, you take such amazing pictures of your kids. So I want to hire you. And I'm like, wait, I wasn't even trying to make this a business. I'm just out here being a mom. So it kind of fell into my lap. So there might be something like that too. Yeah, check your inbox. I don't know, see if there's anything local you can sign up for, like, I don't know, message boards are still a thing. I don't even know. Community online something, people looking for work or workers. I don't know. Yeah. I would just say this to me feels like out of the blue, unexpected. You're not seeing it coming, but then when you see it, you're just like, whoa, 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 there's a lot going on here. What do I do? What do I do? But of course, your intuition is going to tell you what to do. And there's still some surprises here, and maybe even some setbacks or some perceived setbacks, between now and this is specifically during Scorpio season, but like, who has an easy Scorpio season? Not me, usually, not me. But yeah, this is about focusing, because it's not like you've lost anything, crying over what has spilled. There's still a full bottle of wine here, another one here, some cups, like there's stuff going on. There's no need to, mourn this past or what's spilled here. There's a lot more party over here. And it's about shifting your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's not going right, look at what is going right, and that can amplify what is going right. King of Pentacles speaking through. Yes, yeah, that could be. Let's just see if this is having to do with love at all for Michelle. Is this a King of Pentacles possibly in her future? And we're not just talking now and Equinox and Scorpio season. We're just talking like whenever love comes for her. Is this King of Pentacles for her? Yeah, but again, you're really like, I'm not seeing this as like more bad's gonna come for you. No, it's like you're putting to rest this old version of yourself. It's almost like you rose from the dead of the old version of yourself that you put to rest because you've leveled up so much. So you really doing that hermit thing for the past year plus, and kind of, right now and in the near future, you're still in kind of this hermit mode, kind of wait and see, patience kind of mode, not ready to quite put yourself out there yet mode. But when you will be, when you rise from the dead of this hermit mode that has brought you to who you are becoming, and you getting back out there, that's when this King of Pentacles comes in. So it's kind of up to you timeline-wise. And I know it's so easy to just say, well, I'll just change my life. I'll just transform. I'll just do all these things. But actually then doing them, because again, if we try to change too much all at once, it all crumbles down. It all falls apart, and we almost might just be back to square one. So it's about, taking care of your health, taking care of your eyes, getting that confidence, getting that the job that you've been wanting, and getting out of the current job, and maybe eventually moving, and just these things building on each other. Because if we try to do all those things at once, it's just not, for one, it's super freaking stressful, but for two, it's just most of the time not at all realistic or feasible for any of us to make that many changes at once. But you just kind of working through them, and doing this hermit mode thing, and again, with the world energy you got, I do also feel, maybe a staycation or a vacation kind of vibe can really help put life in perspective for you and give you that clarity that you're wanting for the future and for what is meant for you, and knowing how to weed out the opportunities that look good on paper but maybe aren't great, and the ones that are good. But you're going to be making the right choice. Confidence is hard when I can't move my body like I used to since my injury. Yeah. And that's really, and I think when we tuned into that, it's like this was, kind of a divine intervention by your own higher self, because you were going in a direction, not to say that you were going in a direction that was bad, but like there's something better for you than where the direction you were going in. And it almost was like a divine intervention, and it was like for your spiritual progression, even if it feels like the exact opposite, which is very funny because it reminds me, not your exact injury, but the fact that one really devastating thing that happens to my main character in my book completely reroutes her life to where if that didn't happen, none of this other would have happened. And yeah, there's a lot of crap that happens in between because, drama, books, you got to have plot points going on. But ultimately, it leads her to where she needs to be. It's messed up. It's a messed up book. It's a messed up series, but like in a good way. Yeah, I think it's happened for a reason. I'm just waiting for the reason, right? It's like once you finally see the reason, then you can stop being mad. The fact that it's all feels like a big setback. Yeah. And then look what's on the back of this deck. Another King of Pentacles. So, yeah, at the back of all this transformation, there he is. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, you got a lot of good stuff to look forward to, but also, we all do. We all have a lot of good stuff to look forward to and a lot of work that we're going to have to do to get there and, all the things, but that's what makes life so sweet. If everything would have just happened exactly the way you wanted, we'd all get bored so quickly and be like, well, this is great. I have my dream home, my dream relationship, my dream car, my dream everything, and it all was just handed to me. I don't want any of it anymore. Like, to me, the things that we work for and strive for and really fight for are the things that mean the most to us. And, just you literally shaping and crafting and creating and transforming your life, your body, your, spiritual essence into whatever it is you're creating and crafting and transforming into. That is the beauty of your life. That is the reason you're here, for all of us. But you specifically too, Michelle. So big hugs. You got this. There's more coming up, but you're really tuning into this intuition and you're feeling your way through, and it might feel like a lot at once, but you're going to find the opportunity or opportunities that are meant for you and really go with that. You're going to figure it out. Worth the wait. I feel like it's right around the corner. Yeah, I'm getting really excited feeling just tuning into the energy of it all. But at the same time, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of, shifting and changing and morphing going on, while you're waiting. And yeah, everything just got blurry too. So there might even be future times where you feel like everything is unclear again, but you're shifting through that. So yeah, I would say feel through it. Use that intuition. Do your best every step of the way. You're figuring things out. Yes. Aw, big hugs. Okay. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was our last donation here. So I am going to go over to Earthy Deva. So we're going to go to my email for that. And then also Vicky. Sort of scroll back to earlier today. Okay. So Earthy Deva 31 207 31 for Earthy Deva. Go to my email, we'll read the question and get into it for Anna. Okay. Hi, Amanda. My question for today is, how can I feel more relaxed and bring more comfort into my life right now? I've been feeling stressed out, and I think this in turn has me feeling low in inspiration and motivation in life and work. Thank you in advance. Absolutely. In my collective reading that we did at the beginning of this for the whole autumnal equinox, that's a big mouthful. Autumnal equinox, or autumn equinox is the shorter way that I always say it. This energy really does feel like what you're describing and where a lot of us have been feeling like we've been. But just tuning in already to your energy. I'm going to go back over to my camera so we can see what's going on. Six of Pentacles. So things are going to feel way more balanced, and you're going to have help from outside sources, and even your own higher self, your own guides are really helping. Hello, AJ. Welcome. And then the World. So closing out these old cycles, maybe even being able to go on some sort of vacation or break, having just like a mental date, just you and you, hanging out. This can really put things in perspective to make you feel this comfort, or even just scheduling times into your day, Anna, where you are taking a break and relaxing, de-stressing, and making, like this is a no drama zone. Maybe taking a nice bath. We've got some water here because I know at least where I'm at in the world, things are starting to get a little cooler. The water, you can just go out in the water now because it's a little cold. I'm not sure exactly where you're at as far as how things are in your neck of the woods. But even like a swimming pool or a bath or a shower, pampering yourself. She's just feeling very carefree. She brought some, healthy fruits and drinks in the background there. She's got her cat. I don't know if you have any pets or, close friends or family you can really lean on. Oh, no worries, Piccoli. We can hang out. That's awesome. But just de-stressing, hanging out with people that don't stress you out, decompressing alone or with others can really benefit you. Doing self-care routines like painting your nails or doing your hair, doing like a facial or, honestly, like filing your nails, putting lotion on your legs, just pampering yourself, really taking care of your physical body, your mental body, emotional and spiritual body, just really taking care of yourself. And, I just see you like even putting yourself to bed early, almost like being a very loving and attentive parent to yourself to really help negate a lot of the stress that's going on. Just, putting yourself to bed early, listening to calming music and content, and not just like scrolling and getting stressed out by just all the news and all the things going on in the world on social media, and just kind of paring back or scaling back a little bit on how much time you're spending with a bunch of people who are chaotic or something like social media, which really anything goes. You never know what you're scrolling to next kind of vibe. And just kind of taking a bit of a break from that kind of energy too could really benefit you. Wow. But I do see close connections with family or those that you really love and adore. Again, there's a cat, so pets maybe if you have them. This could really benefit you. And again, they're by the water, getting out in nature. I know it's probably not too cold, hopefully, that you can get out in nature and enjoy, a picnic. It's very funny. There's two picnics going on. And then this person has what looks to be a picnic basket. So I don't know if it's possible to take a picnic. That might be something fun and interesting and different to do. But then we have the Page of Pentacles. So there's some new beginning or something you can start doing new, like implementing it into your day-to-day routine that can help relax you. And this is something you're physically doing. I don't know if this person's out like on a nature trail kind of thing, like getting out and doing like a daily walk outside or something you're doing in your like physical day-to-day life that is going to have a big impact in getting you where you want to go. As far as your goals, your wishes, your desires, getting you to become the version of yourself that you already are, but you're just peeling off the layers of what doesn't serve you anymore to get you in this new direction. But you're feeling very inspired. So that kind of energy that you were describing kind of at the end of your question, I'm going to read it again. Yeah. Feeling low in motivation and inspiration. Well, this is the opposite of this. This is someone who's literally in movement because they are inspired. They are ready and motivated to do something. They have a mission. So you're going to get some sort of, especially with this combination, you're getting an idea or an opportunity coming in that you're then taking action on. You're very excited. And funny, it's incited is the word I was accidentally saying. And in a novel, the inciting incident is the thing that happens in the book that changes everything. And this inciting incident doesn't have to be bad. This feels like an exciting change that changes everything for you and really allows you to throw caution to the wind to really have these deeper emotional connections in your life. So maybe, changing where you go, where you hang out, what you do day to day to put yourself in awareness of new people that you may possibly be able to find, a love match or, a new friend or something. You're putting yourself in new situations that feel really fulfilling to you. Taking yourself out on a date might make you meet someone new. You just never know. Let's just see if we can get a nice chakra wisdom message for Anna, just to help her, guide her at this time, what she's going through currently. Ooh, okay. So this came out in our collective reading. So yes, this is about plucking off the parts of us, and it's like grooming. I was talking in the collective reading about pruning the parts of us that aren't really, vibing with us anymore. And that very much feels like self-care that we were really going into for you. How I was talking about this card, but this is about discovering new parts of yourself by really taking beautiful care of yourself, Anna, and really taking care of your emotional health, mental, physical, and spiritual health. You're discovering new passions, new creative ways to go about life, because I think you are in like a creative rut of some sort, or maybe even feel blocked creatively, or even just inspired to do anything different, because it's almost like same old, same old. It's like you're on this hamster wheel or cycle that just is like same crap, different day. It's like nothing exciting ever happens. And maybe you do spend a lot of time at work, or work, perceivably working on things that you are almost beating yourself up like, I should be enjoying this, but I'm not. So again, I think that's really goes back to you finding new opportunities, new hobbies, new ways to show up in the world, new places to go, new people to meet, that really will put you out of this workaholic vibe, or kind of just going through the motions vibe, or kind of feeling burned out or stressed out vibe, and put you in this more passionate and discovering kind of energy where you're curious, you're excited, you're inspired, you're motivated. Yeah, I'd say that's really going to benefit you. So let's get a word of wisdom from these wisdom oracle cards. Okay, we're getting two. Very funny. We were talking about pruning, cleaning up those old things, and look what we got again. Clean out the dust. So this is about physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually clearing out the clutter, clearing the energy that's no longer serving you, that may perceivably be stressing you out or holding you back in some way. You're clearing that out. And it says here, engage in psychic cleaning. How much debris do you carry in your energy field? Debris is generated by irritation, stress, unfinished business, mental and emotional toxins. It's distracting and disempowering to the healing process. Your goal, to release unnecessary thoughts and emotions. And going back to the bath, this is a really good thing I do, or even the shower. One thing I do is I just allow the day's stresses, the day's worries, all of that to just melt off into the water or melt away. And then that can be carried down the drain when I'm finished with my bath or, my shower. And this is about clearing the energy and doing that in whatever ways resonate most for you. Physically, emotionally, mentally, all of it. But then we also have all these things you're doing, but do less. Remember, just relax, take a vacation, take a picnic, go out in nature, do less things. And here she is like cooking, or appears to be, she's wearing some sort of apron. She's got a bowl. I'm going to assume this is some food. I'm not sure. Maybe cooking a really good meal, or something that you haven't had in a long time that sounds really good, and just taking the time and effort to put a lot of love and care into a meal for yourself, or, if you're cooking for a group of people, could really benefit you. But the lesson on this card says, assess your level of doing for others. Examine whether you're overextended. There's that workaholic. Maybe you're doing a lot energetically for other people, showing up for other people, being there for other people, and not just at work, but in all areas of life, to where now you're ready to be there more for yourself. But examine whether you're overextended yourself to the point that you become unnecessarily exhausted. Why is that? Is your health worth it? Your goal, to confront your core reason for risking your health unnecessarily. Or, agreeing to go out with friends because, we're getting together and you would rather stay home. Or, this is about listening to your body, listening to your desires, your wants, and, saying no. It's okay. It doesn't mean you don't like people or don't ever want to go again. It just means in this moment, it's probably not the best for me, and it's okay to say no. So knowing what to say yes to, knowing what to say no to, finding that balance, clearing the debris, taking really good care of yourself, a lot of self-care, self-love, self. It sounds selfish, but it's actually selfless. When we can give ourselves that love we are desperate for, then we can give from that overflow of love we're giving to ourselves to others, and really strengthen those connections with the people in our lives that we really vibe with. So I hope that resonated for you, Anna. Big hugs. Thanks again for your donation, and I hope it resonated. So Pika Lee is here. She couldn't decide if I had a question or not. So much going on. Decided to leave it up to the higher beings and self. Okay, so I'm going to put these away. Take a drink of my water. Kind of in the reverse order, though, because I haven't put anything away yet. All right, and then we're going to get into what Pika Lee needs to know, I guess. Just leaving it up to higher beings and self. whatever she needs to know. And I'm feeling the need to use that other deck that I kind of go to once in a while instead of this deck tonight for Picoli's question. Maybe there's some specific, usually when Spirit does that, it's because in that specific deck they're directing me toward instead. There's a specific depiction that it makes so much total sense with that card instead of the other. And the way that we've really been tuning into your energy lately, Picoli, I'm just literally going to listen to Spirit here. So tuning into Picoli's energy, what does she need to know? She didn't know she had a question or what was going on, so she's leaving this open to higher beings and self. What does she need to know? Okay, we've got lots of opening, releasing past judgments and things from the past. There's a lot of release here. It's almost like these people have released these doves too. And that's like, you know, a symbol of celebration, a symbol of like salvation, a symbol of release, you know, releasing the binds that chain us. It's like freeing the birds, you know. And isn't there a song by Leonard Skinner called Free Bird? I don't know. It's very interesting. Didn't they give me a song for you last time too? Correct me if I'm wrong. I know they have in the past for sure, but I want to say they gave me a song for you last time, but I could be wrong. But there's a song called Freebird by Leonard Skinner. I don't think it has to do with your love life. It's not like you're breaking up. To me, it feels like you're freeing yourself from just past baggage, past wounds, past something. Very interesting. And I don't even know all the lyrics. I think there's something about please remember me. It's kind of like a sad little song, kind of. I don't know, the lyrics might not be that sad, but yeah. And this is beautiful. Look at these major arcana energies. You really are in a level up right now, or very soon to be if you're not currently. This is literally about you taking and manifesting what you want. You know, you've really been hard at work manifesting, you know, love and more excitement in your life. So I'd say you're on the right track. So whatever it is you're intuitively guided to do, very spiritual combination as well. Whatever you're intuitively guided to do, do it. Go in that direction. Spirit's with you. This feels, you know, very transformational. Even if big things, big sweeping things aren't happening on the exterior, there's a lot of internal stuff that's really shaping up for you. Yes, it's about confidence. It's about knowing your worth. It's about that queen energy. Yes, this is, and you know, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles specifically are like, I'm actually the leader here, not the King of Pentacles or the King of Wands. It's me. It's me. So this is really just you tuning into your power and just so beautiful, and just really exuding this just sexy and beautiful and confident vibe. So what I posted in PayPal, I just got back and not sure if you were able to see it or not. Oh, I don't know where to ask for higher guidance, so I'll leave it up to spirit, higher self, source, ancestors, crossover loved ones. Yes, any words of advice or guidance that best serves my highest purpose. Yes. Oh, your love life is popping by the wind. Yes. Dream come true. Ooh, yes. And when you first told me about him, I'm like, this is it. This is what we've been tuning into for like a year now, or at least since last summer for sure. Like, yes. Well, that would be over a year at this point. Yeah, since last summer. I've been feeling this for you, and I'm so excited. Yes, this is beautiful. What else do they need her to know? Woo. Spinny, spin, spin. Well, I don't know if there's been where, you know, your family has met Mr. Sagittarius, or, you know, but there's some sort of celebration. There's some sort of party, wedding. Not saying your wedding, but like maybe you're going to some sort of function together, party. I heard the word gala. I don't know. It's very fancy sounding. And these people are not like fancy dressed up, but sorta. Girl, yes. I was like, damn, this is what I've been waiting for, right? And then, you know, it's like he's definitely okay. So the major vibe, if this is not something you've got planned or coming up, he's the type of person that you are super happy to show up at a function and show him off and be like, yes, I can't believe this is mine. But at the same time, he's thinking the same thing and shouting the same thing from the rooftops about you. It's just very mutually beautiful. And, you know, with this Ace of Pentacles, you know, this is that new beginning, that beautiful, loving, stable, grounded, earthly type of relationship that you have been wanting that has the emotional connection. You're not waiting days to hear back from someone. You are the priority. The emotional connection is like off the chain. It's everything you could have dreamed of and more, if I could speak. And like Spirit's saying, like, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and not that every relationship's perfect because, there's ups and downs and quarrels and miscommunications. And, I'm sure there's going to be some of that. But as far as like the grand scheme of this relationship is beautiful, beautiful. Let's just see any chakra wisdom messages that need to come through from guides, higher self, ancestors, rejection. And again, this is me going back to the beginning. This is like not rejection, like you being rejected by the world or, Sagittarius or any of that. This is you rejecting those old parts of yourself or releasing those old parts of yourself. Because it's not like this person looks dejected or rejected himself. It's like he's releasing the ghosts of the past or the demons of the past or, all the thoughts in his head, like, I'm not good enough. Well, I could never paint another masterpiece. This almost reminds me of like an artist that, everyone's like, oh, he's already peaked or she's already peaked. And this guy's like, well, have I peaked? Well, when I put this brush to the paper, it's like, no, it's like what I'm saying is like, this is just the beginning. Like the best is yet to come. So any masterpiece you've already created, just get ready. There's way more masterpieces to create here. In your relationship, in your job, in your spiritual life, in family, in just everything you've got going on. There's just this major like release, almost rising from the dead of the old version of you that you're like, I didn't believe life could be this amazing. And that's such a beautiful energy to be in because not many people ever reach that. Or if they do, it's very fleeting. But I think you're very appreciative of where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. I think you are very seeing the whole picture, the details, the big picture, all of it. Oh, you took the weekend to rest and recover from it now, so feeling light and happy. That's beautiful. Let's just see if there's anything else that needs to come through. Guidance, wisdom, any sneak peeks into some fun stuff in the future, just anything she needs to know. Be open to spiritual guidance. What were we saying? Yes. And we're literally asking for spiritual guidance, and then the spiritual guidance card comes out. So anytime you're confused or, feeling any kind of bones from the past coming up, just ask, what is this trying to show me? Or, why am I experiencing this right now? Or whatever it is. But you're rejecting these old versions of you or these old thoughts or these old whatever because they aren't meant for you anymore. Never that they were, but you're just, you're worthy of much more. As that Queen of Wands that just showed up in your reading, you're worthy of much more than what you used to play in or accept or settle for so much. That you're almost like, pinch me, I can't believe this is my life. But please don't pinch me because I don't want it to go away. It doesn't have to go away. But it says, ponder this question. How do you expect your prayers and guidance to come to you? Literally, in a vision? Are you someone who says you're waiting for prayers to be answered because you want guidance that includes a safety net? Your goal, to own up to your spiritual insecurities and lack of faith. And I'm already seeing this as something you've already been through. You've already done this. And of course, there will be times in the future and maybe even now that you're like, oh, we could all definitely be a little better in, one spiritual area or another. But this is just you really, knowing that the guidance you're getting is divine guidance and you're on the right track and your intuition is popping, your love life's popping. Things are really going your way right now. And I almost wanted to say like coming up roses, but it's almost like she's holding an iris or I don't know. Is that what that flower's called? I don't know exactly. I could be wrong. I'm not sure exactly. But purple flower with 4. Beautiful. But yeah, it's almost like you're and spiritual. And then the color purple is very spiritual. So it's very crown chakra vibes. I feel like I want to get one more. Maybe we will go to this deck for one card, see if we need anything else. Yeah, change of season. That's definitely in the air. And tomorrow is that autumnal equinox. And then we have the Libra new moon on Saturday or whatever day the 25th is this year. This month, I should say. There's 12 25ths in a year. as far as I know. Let's just see. Oh, that song Iris was stuck in your head randomly during this reading. Whoa. Yes, I love that song. Goo Goo Dolls, right? Woo, I love that song. It's a bop. Okay. And then look, coming up roses and then all the sunflowers and the iris and I just can't. Yeah, things are going to be good for a while. So, and if things feel a little, oh, I'm sad a little bit today, like the next day, the sun will come out tomorrow. There's Annie. There's another song for you. I don't know. It feels, yeah, it's like the challenges that you're going through are very minimal, or they're very mundane compared to, where you were a year ago or 3 years ago or whatever. Like life is just feeling so much more beautiful right now, I guess is the best word I could use. But yeah, it's so better, so better than where you were, what it was. Not to say you had a bad life before, it wasn't, but it's even better now. Let's just see. Anything else Pika Lee needs to know? Yeah. You might have a choice point, and this to me does feel like career. Ugh, yuck, sorry. TMI, I had to swallow all that phlegm in the back of my throat. Ew. It takes a minute. It gets thick when I just talk. Okay, so yes, back to the amazing reading we've got going on here. This to me feels like a career, but Chariot, you're on the move. You're deciding to go maybe a new way. And she's looking at this way, it says, but she's almost pointing herself that way. So it's almost like you think you're going to do one thing, but you surprise yourself and do something different. I remember a couple months ago, this song was in my head, and I felt this presence like, do you know my name? Like teasing me. So that felt so full circle. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh, send him. Oh, sunflower emoji. Okay, gotcha. And message him. ETs, that is my signature. Oh my goodness. Yes. Wow. That's beautiful. Yes. And then look at the longevity here, because we've got the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So there's like distance. There's like, not distance like, oh, energetic distance, but like longevity, like in the like distant future. Like there's stability. There's a lot of stability. Yeah, mucus is annoying. I know, I hate it. Like decisions about my job. Yeah. And be in this energy for a minute. And it's okay. You don't have to make any big hard about your career, because when the time to move or not or change, like I said in pretty much every reading tonight, it's like we try to make too many changes, even good changes, they can all flop for us at some point because we've just changed too much too fast, and it's like overload. So I think you just kind of feeling through it and knowing intuitively when it's time, because you're really leveling up with that whole, this combination is a major spiritual level up. You're going to know what to do. But yeah, amazing. I really have no other word for this reading other than just more of the same of what we've been getting for you. Amazing. And that whole career thing, you're going to figure it out. And you'll be in success with that. So you'll be happy with the decision you make in your career coming up. So whatever you decide to do or not do, maybe you're kind of putting that on hold for right now and just kind of staying the same. That's kind of how I read it right now. Not to say that if you do want to change, you can't change that right now, and start looking for a different path or a different company or maybe a different department in your current company. Whatever you want to do, one thing at a time, right? It's like, it's okay to allow yourself to stay where you're at with the job, but really savor this new connection, this love connection you've got going on. I think that's great advice. Oh, you're so welcome, Pika Lee. I'm excited for you. So cool. All right. Thanks again for your donation. It was lovely to read for you as always. And we're going to get to Vicky. So 23314. 23314 for Vicky. And we got a 1 card for Vicky, but of course, I can never stick to 1 card. It's exactly where I am right now. I want to move around, but something is telling me just to be patient and wait. Yeah, because I think this opportunity, the opportunity you're going to eventually take hasn't presented itself yet. So it's almost like you'd be taking something lesser than what is so amazing right now that will eventually be what you deserve and what you desire, job-wise, for sure. So yay! Okay, let's go to Vicky's. Oop, that's the wrong tab. Okay. Email, not Safari. Okay, here we go, Vicky. And it's right here. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Hope you're well. I am doing well. Thank you so much. Can I please ask Spirit, is there anything they would like me to know right now? Thank you, as always. And can you please kindly timestamp? I can absolutely do that. Already got it written down. Just got to remind myself when we're done to put it up on a comment. I've been pretty good about it lately, so I think I will do it. Okay. Anything Spirit would like Vicky to know right now? Let's tune in. And once again, I reached for that one, but I want this one. Spirit's like, go to this one. Okay. Back to that. Be hella distracted at a new job, right? Yeah. Just allow yourself to enjoy that love. Okay. Tuning in now to Vicky's energy, please, Spirit. What does Spirit want her to know? Does she need to know? Ooh, we have the Emperor. I mean, of course, in your current life, this is like father energy or boss energy, some sort of authority figure energy. So let's see, what are you trying to illuminate about this Emperor? They're already telling me, Vicky, this is you just embodying this Emperor energy for yourself, because the Emperor is a card of, authority of your own life. It's a card of success at the heart of it. It is someone who succeeds in what they do. It's Aries energy as well. Ooh, and the Chariot. It's like you're taking authority over the direction of your life. And both of these cards at the heart of them are about success, about succeeding in what it is you're putting your effort into and where you're going, the actions you're taking, the movement you're making, the effort you're putting in. Both of these cards are leading you to success. And Vicky, these are both transformational energies. This is not just some small, daily, mundane little thing. This is something that's going to shift your life for the better in such a big way. By you taking control of your own life and knowing what's best for you and taking action accordingly. That's powerful already, but let's just see what else we need to add to this little salad of amazingness for Vicky tonight. Ooh, the Devil. And this, I think, is kind of the obstacle for you is how am I going to make all this work? There's no way. I've never been able to make this happen before. Why isn't it different now? This is you kind of overcoming that ego battle or that kind of mental gymnastics you do to sometimes maybe possibly beat yourself up or not feel like you're deserving of certain, directions in life or actions, or being able to even just have what you desire and not have to try to justify it to everyone else in your life, like, well, I kind of want to do this because XYZ and I promised XYZ. It's like you don't have to justify why you want the life you want to anybody at all. You don't. And I really am reading this, male female energy that are bound here. I'm really mostly more reading this as like you and Cheyenne, as far as, again, because this combination with the father, the Emperor, calling the shots, being the one to kind of direct how things are going, the toxic kind of environment you guys are in. And one of your biggest hangups to, the direction you want to go, the life you want to live, is being in that house, being, and it almost feels like some of these readings that we've done lately are kind of just building or kind of reiterating the same information over and over. But I think there's something extra they're adding tonight. What is that? What does Vicky need to know about this? Ooh, and I love this because a lot of times, not in this specific deck, I mean, they're very different, appearances, but the Lovers in the traditional Rider-Waite and the Devil in the traditional Rider-Waite are almost like mirror images of each other, because they both have two people like seemingly like close. And then, the Devil, those people are chained, but really they're not chained so much that they can't literally take those chains right off right now and walk away. And the Devil can't do crap to stop them from walking away. So really, this is about making a major life decision. And also this is about making a major life decision that is in your best interest, for your highest good, and taking control of your own life. And all 4 of the cards that came out for you, Vicky, are major arcanas. This is a major epiphany or like mental or spiritual level up that you're having that is changing the game for your life. And this is you being the one to take your life into your own hands and make changes happen that are serving you, even if they maybe don't serve this authority figure in your life. But they do serve you, and you're going to be successful because you're listening to yourself and not other people, or people who want to manipulate the situation, or throw their 2 cents in when really they should have no say in it, or your own ego, or you feeling like, well, I would feel guilty if I did this or that or didn't pay for that, and it's like, you shouldn't have to do that. But this is about you taking control of your own life. Let's just see if we can get a life lesson card real quick. Just to see any words of advice or wisdom for Vicky on taking control and going in the direction she chooses. Ooh, see the good in everything. And I think that might be sort of a little bit the problem with why you're in the situation you're in now. I know this is supposed to be the card that's like, of course we should see the good in everybody, but sometimes seeing the good, seeing past the good in people and actually seeing the bad in people is what can help us finally make those hard decisions to remove ourselves from certain situations. Doesn't mean we don't love them and that they aren't good people on another, level than we've been dealing with them. But at the same time, yes, seeing the good in a situation and in people is good. But I think in this, it's for you to be optimistic about the situation as far as you moving beyond where you're at. That's what I think this is really directing you to. Even if it feels scary and unknown, you're going to be able to see that, wow, there's so many limitless possibilities. I just need to take action and go for my dreams, and I can do it. I can accomplish. But it says here, today's lesson, this is a day for optimism only. No matter what comes your way, your task is to see only the favorable attributes in it. Your goal to practice the power of positive thinking. And this isn't, that advice to spiritually bypass, love and light everything away. No. This is you facing head on the challenges, the obstacles in front of you, and seeing what good these challenges are creating in your life. Where maybe this toxic home life is actually creating, the good that it's creating is for you to realize, I need to move beyond this. I need to go in a different direction from this. That's the good you can see in this is pointing out, like, alarm bells going off, that this is no longer for me, and I deserve the world. I deserve the sun. I deserve to go in the direction of something that makes me feel in my own control, in my own power, my own life, and successful. This is such a successful, well, of course, we already know what that is. This is such a successful combination right here. And beautiful and bright and lively and energetic and action-oriented kind of combination right here. So this is about you taking action on the things that are going to be for your best interest and seeing the good in even the bad situations, how they have served you in the past or are currently serving you, but how you're moving beyond them. That's how I want you to take that information instead of spiritually bypassing the toxicity. You're facing that toxicity and saying, well, the good in this is I know I don't want this anymore, so I'm moving beyond it. Again, it's all about time and, patience and moving and, the effort forward, but you're making it happen. If there's anything I know, you're making it happen, because these cards are very clear that you are succeeding in what you set out to do. The actions you're taking are adding up to really big epiphanies and really big wins for you in life. So big hugs, Vicky. Yay! Good news for you. It's not going to be easy. I know that for you. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be so worth it. When you make that leap or take that action and move in the direction that is better for you, you're going to look back a year maybe later than that, or a month after that, and just be like, wow, I did it. I really did it. And you're going to be so proud of yourself, and that devil energy is going to have nothing on you. Yes. All right, you guys. Well, it is 2 hours, 43 minutes, and 6 seconds into this live stream. And I think I've hit my limit tonight. So I think I ran out of steam right at the right amount of time. My right ear is now ringing, and I'm thirsty, and I think I can hear my kids still awake. So I'm going to go help get them to bed. But I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. It was such an honor to hang out with you today, or tonight, I should say. And if you did miss the collective reading we did at the beginning, feel free to check that out. And I'll just say TBD on my next pick a card, because obviously I can't get my crap together on my other channel to get something out there. But the October reading is in the works. at some point. So I'm going to be getting that out hopefully before October at this point. That would be great for you guys. So I will check you later. Thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly hope to see you right here back at the Done Creative on Friday. We are going to be diving into the full moon. I know it's not going to be quite the full moon on Friday, but we're going to tune in anyway to that full moon energy and just see what we need to know. Do another collective reading at the beginning and tune in. All right, you guys, have a wonderful evening, day, morning, whatever time it is where you're at. And I will check you next time. Bye.